And we're live. Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Talk Now Live with Max and Larry, the Max and Larry Show, your show, the big show. So grateful that all of you guys here have joined us on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday evening. But before we get started, let's say hello to Max. Max, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Larry. Glad to be here. I want to state this. I have finally, if you haven't noticed on Twitter, for the non-Twitter followers, I have finally made a position. Yes, I know. What the heck, Max? In HBAR and also Albt, I decided I am not going to FOMO, but if anything, yeah, I have a position in finally. I was waiting for a pullback. It finally happened the other night. And I was like, well, might as well do it now instead of keep waiting later and so on. In reality, it's unexpected bills. All these darn hospital bills and so on suck, but you know, it's part of life. But yeah, glad to do it. I would have done it with LCX as well, but I saw that I was still pumping, so I'm gonna wait a little bit more in regards to that. But yeah, it feels good, man, to just be able to officially finally say it. So there you go.
All right, great news. I see it right here now that you mentioned it. It's right here on Max's Twitter. You guys can follow. It's a good segue to follow Max here at DPGmaximus. Of course, stands for Dog Pound Gaming. Maximus, follow him, and you can also follow me if you want on Twitter, which is Crypto Talk Now 21. All right, so good stuff. So you got into those two. Is there any other ISOs you're looking to get into that are on your short list?
Well, I mean, LCX is not technically an ISO, but
Right,
it's part of that list. Yeah, that's definitely one. And then after that, to be honest, you know, I want to look more into ICP. No, not Insane Clown Posse. Sorry, I was never a fan of them. Sorry to anybody that was. But no, Internet Computer. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of, you know, it's like roughly $5.50 or so. This thing was well over 400, 480, something like that. Ben Armstrong, aka Boy Crypto, whether you're a fan of him or not, he always mentions ICP being in his top 5. I want to find out why that is. And it's not just him. Other people are talking more and more about it. I want to find out why that's trending so much. You know, there has to be some reason for that. I'm just looking at, you know, there has to be something there. I have to learn more about it. It's part of doing my own research. So I'm going to look more into that. And then I think, you know, as far as like the non-ISOs, I'm thinking about getting 10 billion tectonic. But within the next few days, I should be getting paid here again soon. And I'm looking to maybe load up one last time, only on things that I see with a pullback. I'm not going to get into anything that is obviously pumping. I'm thinking about getting another bag of Jasmine. I should have got it, of course, at, you know, the 3 cents range or so on. But yeah, I'm looking at it from that perspective. So with that said, the news highlights for tonight is definitely going to be starting off with Jasmine, believe it or not. We're gonna do Quant. We have some XRP, XDC, some real big news for XDC actually, which is really cool to see that. A little bit of XLM, HBAR, ALBT, and if anything, I think that might do it. So back to you.
All right, cool. Good stuff coming very, very soon. Let's say hello to the audience. He's here. Green Candle Fanatic. He loves green candles, as we all do. He's looking for that big green God candle on the chart. What's up, family? Thank you so much. April Cornwell is here. Mrs. Michael April Cornwell. Hello, beautiful people. It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I added that part. I hope the same for all. She drops some flowers as well. Tim Shea says, hey, because that's what Tim Shea says. Cool. As we go through, Sobo is here. He says, hello to everyone. And Tim, Green Candle. Who else is here? River Runner is here. Let's get the party started, of course. And Brittany is here. Brittany is here, Max. It's always good when she's here because she reminds me of what day it is. Because one day I think I said it's a beautiful Friday. It was actually a Thursday. So it's nice that she puts that in there. It's kind of funny stuff.
Well, it's nice to see all the, you know, beautiful people in the audience. April Cornwell's mentioned, you know, beautiful peeps, beautiful day. Why is it all a beautiful day? Is it because we know what we hold and we have brighter days ahead, I think, when it comes to this whole crypto journey? How about you, Larry? What do you think?
I think so. I think we're at the start we're at the precipice of something great. We're at the start of something good, and we all know it. It's just going to be a matter of time, and you're going to see some nice things in your portfolio. John Smith is here. He says, "Hey, Larry. All right, Max. How is your dad?"
Oh, he said, "How are you, lads?" That's what he
Oh,
said.
how are you, lads?
That's
All
all
right, I didn't
right.
miss that part. Sorry,
That's all
I
right.
actually
Pretty
thought it was
good.
a typo.
I'm actually really glad to see John because he's mainly from the recorded section, and it's nice to see anybody come to the live. I understand it's also the weekend too, so maybe you guys don't feel like you get the opportunity. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, John, you're across the pond, as the saying goes, so that might have something to do with it as well. But thank you, all you guys are here: Tim, Brittany, Green Candle Fanatic, Sobo, anybody else I missed. It was Brian Dowie.
Crypto
Yeah.
McDizzle for Sizzle is here. What up to Michael Cornwell, aka Crypto Mike? Thank you so much for being here. Brian Dowie is here. Salamander in Space, the XDC commander, is back. He says, "Hello, I just finished most of my honeydew list. Perhaps he's working on fixing his house or something like that." And who else is here? I'm fighting with my microphone to stay up here.
Good to see you, Salamander.
Mentalek, hello. Is it me you're looking for?
Lionel Richie.
Brian Dowie, Crypto Hulk. What is Crypto Hulk saying? Crypto Hulk was saying algo will be used on the XRPL
for derivatives.
Ledger for derivatives. Did you hear anything about that, Max?
Nah.
Okay.
But I mean, I'll take his word for it. I mean, Crypto Hulk does a really great job, let's face it, when it comes to covering XRP. I mean, he kills it. He finds things, like, for instance, there'll be news articles. He'll find something like a needle in the haystack of, like, how did you pull that out of thin air, man? But he'll have something to back it up. He's really original with what he does, so I give him mad props.
Good stuff. Mentalek has also picked up a little bit of Jasmine. I saw, we were just talking real briefly before the show. Your Jasmine videos picked up a lot of steam. I know you're going to cover it tonight. That's probably an area. Well, we just tell the audience we got 52 subscribers just from the one video. So Jasmine, we hit a sweet spot there. I don't ever remember us doing one video and getting that type of response just with one video. There's definitely a need for Jasmine content.
Might be the thumbnail. I don't know. I was trying to get something kind of nice looking, but also, it's, I addressed right from the beginning the misinformation, because even myself, I was telling you guys, what I heard, that was not true. So I literally addressed that and so on. I was glad to get clarification. We're going to get into Jasmine on the headlines after Larry goes through a few more comments, guys.
A couple more. I'm going to read this last comment, and then we're going to just scan for whoever we didn't say hello to, and we'll come back to the comments. John Smith, guys, there's definitely mass adoption. I've been looking into this all day. So many institutions buying in, Amazon moving so fast into cloud servers. There's definitely going to be a war between Google and Amazon for nodes on the network. It's moving so fast. Hello, guys. All right.
Yeah, he's right.
Let's say hello to a couple more people, and then we're going to get into the news. Purple Radioactive Intergalactic is here. I think we should hold the government responsible for mishandling crypto. Call it risky. Now, let's say hello to Moraine, Ohio is here. And who else did we miss? Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk is here. And that's it. We'll get to your comments in a second. But back to you, Max, with the first news segment.
Sure. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So it's in regards to specifically Jasmine. I'm going to pull it up right here right now. Two particular things we want to address with Jasmine. So, the one's going to start things off is this right here. Basically speaking, listen to this, says it's expected to be implemented by June of 2023. Now, I'm not talking about Jasmine. I'm talking about specifically when it comes to this whole thing of lifting the ban in Japan. I know that rhymed. For the domestic use of foreign stablecoins by 2023, and why that's so significant. And that's one of the things I did talk about in our first ever deep dive with Jasmine. Now, you got to think about this. You may dismiss it because you're so used to it, but when it comes to paying for things, that's why we have pairings, right? You're not going to just go buy, for instance, I don't know, XRP without a USDT pairing or a USDC circle pairing, right? More people are probably more a fan of USDC, let's be honest. But imagine living in Japan and there's no pairings. That's one of the main issues. So I want to point out some of this. And this is from investing.com originally. It says, what Japan's adjusted regulations mean for stablecoins, why it should matter to you, and why it should matter, especially if you hold the likes of Jasmine. So I got further into this and I said to myself, all right, well, what's the outline? Well, some of the things you see right here is Japan's Financial Services Agency, FSA. You know, think about it. It's kind of like they have their own, you know, abbreviations for government regulated entities or, you know, organizations. They're working on lifting that ban, and we reported that. And if anything, it should happen maybe by summertime. There's a little bit more in regards to this. Listen to this. Like I was talking about USDT, aka Tether, new regulations in Japan allowing investors to trade using stable coins like USDT. Hence why I was saying the pairings, right, are expected, listen to this, just like I mentioned, to be adopted no later than June 2023. And here in a moment, we're going to get into why that's so significant and reiterate why I feel as though that even the chart may look like Jasmine is a rug pull, it is not. All right, so the FSA will only allow foreign stable coins that are successfully pass these particular individual checks, ensuring they are safe from the viewpoint of user protection. Again, kind of like, you know, what we have in the United States. This is Japan's version of, not really like the SEC, but again, part of their strict regulation, because they do have, you know, strict regulation there. Now it says the final, or I should say the Financial Services Agency of Japan confirmed it would lift the ban on domestic use of foreign stablecoins in 2023. However, there is no information specifically like on a set date. That part got cut off. Now, I want to jump into this. All right. So here is Jasmine, and it's sitting at 0.005358. All right. I came in at roughly 0.006. Shout out to Mike Cornwell, who DCA'd and got maybe as down as much as 2 or 3. I think he mentioned 3 when you were texting me. But nonetheless, yeah, there's some information in regards to that. Still dirt cheap. Now watch this on the particular chart. Here's all times, and this is, you know, all-time highs and so on, and where we're at now. Some people feel as though this is a blatant rug pull. It is not a rug pull. I want to point this out. So look at this. When it first had a listing, and I remember this, because they're promoting the hell out of this. I saw it originally on KuCoin. That's how I first found out about this. So I saw a KuCoin listing, and it was basically at the beginning of, you know, well, not the beginning of 2021, but I was going to state this. I saw a KuCoin listing like late 2021, right after Bitcoin hit all-time highs, Ethereum and all that. But look at this. So for instance, they list it on KuCoin. They promote the heck out of it and so on. And if anything, we saw, I believe it was either 50% APY or 100% APR on KuCoin. But it started off really, really strong. And then when you had that whole thing about them banning, I guess you could say, you know, US-based stable coins on their platform, boom, price tanks something fierce. Now, to hear this, guys, I'm just being honest. We have to point out cryptos that, you know, we're very bullish on. To hear this whole news about this being lifted, you can draw your own conclusion. If it was me, I'm looking to most likely pick up another bag of this at these particular prices, because I'm looking at it from this perspective. Even if it does 1/4, technically this went up to close to $5 at one point. I think it was $4.99 if I'm not mistaken. So let's just say it was 4. If it did 1/4 of 4, that'd be $1. I already have over 100,000 of these. $100,000. So I'm looking at it from that risk to reward ratio. Could it very well not be anything too significant? Might be, you know, a long-term hold. That might be the case. But this is literally being titled as we speak is the Bitcoin of Japan. That's actually a real thing. If you look at the logo, very similar, right? Why would they make it very similar to the likes of the Bitcoin logo? There's something to be said there. We're going to pay more closer attention. I do have a second update in regards to Jasmine, but I've been talking more than 5 minutes. So we're going to kick it back to Larry. Back to you. We'll jump back into this in a little bit.
Good stuff there on Jasmine. Like I said, there's a lot of people that want to know more about it. So we got to encourage other content creators to do videos on Jasmine as well. Mentalex says Jasmine X HBAR look interesting, but I'm not going heavy. Purple radioactive. I think we should hold the government responsible for mishandling crypto. Call it risky. Again, Moraine in Ohio. Is it true that each Bitcoin halving adds a zero to the Bitcoin price? We'd have to go back and look at the
I
history.
don't know
I
about
don't know if
that.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if that's been a trend where it's added a zero. I mean, we'll have to go back and look. John Smith, Google and Amazon for nodes on their networking. It's moving so fast. All right, that's what he was saying earlier. When it's not a risk, it's time to hold the government responsible for trying to ban progress. Says Purple Radioactive. And yes, UK. That's where he is, Max, in London.
Very
And
cool.
John Smith again. But yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. This time is so different. Adoption is really going to be crazy this year. Let's see. Purple radioactive crypto should not be regulated like this government is going too far, calling it risky. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. Someone later in the comments said that they're fighting it, Max, so they can start accumulating the people that are in the government and those that are close to the government, let's just say.
Well, I
And
believe that, this phase that we're at is an accumulation phase. I want to state that.
yep.
I was looking at, for instance, my main thing is I look at data, and it looks like we're very much into that accumulation phase. As you guys know, if you follow this, after the accumulation phase, it's going to be something else, to say the least. For all the people saying we can't make money in 2023, they could be further from the truth. I see that we have about 41 people here. Thanks for being here tonight at Crypto Talk Now. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like. It's all we ask. It's absolutely free, doesn't cost anything. And hopefully we can get the algorithm triggered so we can get the show out to more and more people. Thanks for joining us here at Crypto Talk Now. If it's the first time you've ever joined us, we're currently covering Jasmine. Some of the other hot topics are going to be, for instance, Quant, XRP, XLM, XDC, ALBT, LCX, and HBAR. If you're a person that doesn't have a custom avatar, consider changing that to something that speaks more about who you are and what you're all about. And I'd like to, of course, welcome you to Crypto Talk Now. Any questions, comments, no matter how new you are to crypto or how many years you've been into it, we'd like to welcome you just the same. Back to you, Larry.
Yeah, thanks for that, Max. Definitely hit the like button, guys. River Runner, what would be considered a decent bag of XDC?
I give everybody similar answers when it comes to this. It all depends on your exit strategy, or how long you're willing to hold a particular asset, whether it's XDC, some of these other ones, and so on. You got to find out what the market cap is, the price point that you're thinking about coming in. Please don't FOMO into anything. I mean, especially if everything's like, say, 20% or more up. You can always wait for a retracement, if you will. And then from there, say to yourself, you know what is the previous all-time highs on this particular project, where you think it's going to go. But set goals, realistic goals for yourself, where that applies to maybe how much of holding you may very well need. So perfect example, obviously, is Quant. If you're a person that truly believes that Quant's going to hit 100,000 or more in so many years ahead, then, for instance, what would be the bare minimum, in my humble opinion, it'd be 10 Quant. Why? Well, it's math, right? 10 Quant, equals $1 million way out in the future, right? But if you're also the other type of person, you're like, you know what, that's too long for me to wait. I'm not willing to wait multiple years. I feel as though Quant's going to skyrocket to at least 5 figures. So my goal is 5 figures. Then maybe you need to accumulate, for instance, 100 Quant. So it all depends on how long you're willing to wait and sit on that quote unquote nest egg. So try to figure that out. A good point of reference is the likes of CoinMarketCap. You could use, obviously, CoinGecko and some of these other ones.
Thanks for that again, Max. Let's just say hello to the rest of the people that are here. We're going to get back into the news. KK is here. Thank you so much. And who else is here? But Star-Lord is here. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Thank you for covering LCX and Quant. Great stuff, guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you very much, Star-Lord. I like the Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy. I love those movies, especially the first one. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you being a long-time listener. That whole caller function, we've been mentioning it for the longest time, but we're gonna figure out a way to finally get that going. You got to get with Larry about that. So
yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah, and thank you for being here, Star Lord. Everybody give Star Lord the warm CTN family welcome. Sack Car Scene is here. Hello to you. We're gonna read your comment when we come back, but first, it is a certain time. We're gonna just play.
oh boy,
yeah, it's gonna be just a 15 seconds. Get the blood flowing here for the next news segment. Guess what time it is? It's peanut butter fudge time. Let's see if I can share it the proper way. Hold on. I got to get Max pumped up a little bit. Sorry, I shared it the wrong way.
no, that's all right.
And it is peanut butter and jelly time.
Jelly time, peanut butter.
Oh my gosh.
There it goes. Ah.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Do the peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Now way.
And there he is, and there he goes. Peanut Butter Fudge is in the house. Thank you so much. He's the only CTN family member with his own theme song as he walks up to the plate. And hello to Mr. J Crypto as well. I think we've got everybody here, and we've said hello to everybody. And now it's up to you, Max, to give us the next news segment, please.
All right, it's the last bit in regards to Jasmine. We'll go ahead and jump right into that right now. So yeah, let's get into that. It's a particular article from CoinDesk, but anyway, we do share some of their particular info every now and then. But yeah, here it is. And basically, like you see right here, it's reiterating a little bit more of what we were talking about earlier. All right. So it says Japan embraces Web3 as global regulations grow wary of crypto with a tight, with tight regulations already in place that helped insulate the FTX Japan and its investors from heavy losses. Japan is working on policy and guidelines for just that stable coins. But listen to this. NFTs and also DAOs, right? So we're going to point that out as well, as it welcomes a crypto future. And you see the whole particular outline. And again, why would we want to jump into the likes of Jasmy once we have regulatory clarity in the likes of Japan? That wouldn't make sense. But let's face it, guys, that is reality. That's what excites so many people, is when people FOMO in. The consistent meme of the guy at the ticket booth who, for instance, is selling Jasmine for 0.003 or 4, right? And then there's a whole huge line for Jasmine when it hits $1, right? And that's the reality when it comes to not just Jasmine but everything, right? So getting further into this, it says, while many other countries are still standing still and shrugging their shoulders in the face of the cold wind, Japan is positioned to play a unique role in the crypto industry. It states that after a recent trip in Tokyo, it's hard to overstate how out of sync Japan is with much of the world. However, if you think about it, they are not quite all that phased when it comes to this whole nonsense of FTX. The FTX crash has made, listen to this, no impact on policy making. So if anything, the main thing that we should take away from this is, well, we are going to hear more about regulatory compliance, not just here in the United States and around crypto all over the world, but it's also Japan. So it states lawmakers and regulators, not just from Japan, but obviously the United States and Europe to Asia, express increased wariness of crypto. Web3 promotion remains part of Japan's national strategy. A small but active group of politicians is proposing guidelines for everything. Yeah, everything when it comes to decentralization, DAOs, NFTs, you name it, right? So it says one of the enormous, I'm going to pronounce that right, excuse me, tax requirements has been revised, marking a major win for crypto entrepreneurs. And again, my thing is, when I look at the timeline of what's going on with Japan, I mean, let's face it, like, 2022, it may seem like it was a long time because of crypto winter and so on. It flew by pretty quick if you think about it. All these years are flying by quickly, especially when we get the more older we get, right? Look at this right now. It says Coinbase and Kraken, right? My buddy is a big fan of Kraken, withdrew from Japan a while back, but Binance, which irked Japanese regulators in the past, managed to acquire a Japanese exchange. And here's the key kicker here. Stablecoins, which are currently not allowed in Japan's exchanges, have a new path forward simply because, like I mentioned before, the pairings, USDT, Tether, USDC, Circle, right? Which raises the question, why is Japan embracing crypto now? That's the magic thing. That's what we should all basically have an idea about. Well, the simplest explanation basically is that when it comes to crypto, Japan has already been to hell and back. It proved that it can weather a storm. So now some of the old fear is gone. And if fear is going to be gone, then if anything, there will be new trust. And when there's trust, we have, for instance, regulatory clarity. Then more trust comes in. If there's trust there, you have, as their saying goes, the institutional money. So when I state something like, these utility coins, right? For instance, we should see a lot of institutional money coming in like crazy. It doesn't just also apply to the likes of what we have going on here in the United States, right? It applies literally all over the world. And we're seeing some of this even in regards to Japan. Now, let's face it, Jasmine might not even be, a quote unquote utility token. I have seen reports that there is some kind of utility there, but let's face it, guys, it's not going to be something that strikes me to the likes of, Ripple's XRP or Stellar Lumens, Quant, and so on, right? But if anything, we understand this. There is huge upside potential when it comes to where we saw Bitcoin in the past. And for instance, where we saw it in, 11/11/2021, 69K of Bitcoin. If this is truly the Bitcoin of Japan, then that's something to be said, right? And last I checked, when it comes to innovation, Japan has always stood out the test of time, dating back to the 1970s, especially with advancements in technologies. Doesn't matter if it's video game consoles, computers, you name it. Japan definitely is in a whole category in itself. You think for a moment that if they're going to have the label of the Bitcoin in Japan, that there isn't something to be said about that? No, there's another story there, to say the least. So I want to point out a couple more things here. And that is this right here. It says the reason why we ask for this kind of segregation of assets is because we learned our lesson from the past incidents. Yeah, Mt. Gox and coin check hacks. Fortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, we got used to this kind of emergency situation in crypto compared to other jurisdictions. We are knowledgeable, right? So when this whole thing happened with the first magic moment for Japan, I think, if the timing is right, was basically the whole thing with Terra Luna. When they saw that, they just got real strict. Like they were, want to talk about country looking out for his people. I think they did just that. Did they take it to an extreme? Yeah, but man, they really moved on it. Now you're starting to see the shift come the other way, literally doing a 180. And I just think we should pay a little bit more attention to this. So my thing is this: key takeaway is understanding these price levels where they're at right now and understanding where this could very well go. And if anything, we should see significant price increases by summer. Is it a case of buy the rumor, sell the news? I don't think so. Because here's the thing. I want to state this. This is not you just buying, for instance, the vision of a particular cryptocurrency shilled by a particular project to the point where it's just like, hey, here's this app that's coming out and it's going to do this and that should pump the price. We're talking about literally an entire nation and a government getting behind regulatory clarity for the country can move forward in crypto. And what's the key one that stands out? It's obviously Jasmine, the Bitcoin of Japan. Back to you, Larry.
Yeah, thank you so much. And how do you think it got known as the Bitcoin of Japan? Is that from the investors? The only question I have is this. Let me back up and rephrase that. Has the government of Japan, if you've ever said this, I apologize, I might have missed it. Has the government of Japan ever said this is like our Bitcoin? Have they ever referred to it that way?
No, it's more like, just people who are generally into crypto. Let's say, for instance, they hold overseas assets on various other things and so on. They have labeled it that because of the similarities to the likes of, for instance, Bitcoin. But one of the key differences is that I've noticed is it does have at least a form of utility compared to the likes of Bitcoin, but there's a lot of similarities. I mean, obviously, if you have a development crew from, Sony Entertainment of America and also Japan, you see their faces, then you can't really say, okay, this is the Bitcoin of Japan, because obviously Satoshi Nakamoto, nobody knows who that is or if it's a group of people. So there are some key differences, but yeah, the general consensus from the Japanese people that I've seen is, yeah, they have accepted it as the Bitcoin of Japan and so on. So people who live there, I think they're really excited about it. I'm not saying that I think they are. I mean, you see some articles and just, for instance, even on YouTube, there's some people being interviewed about it and so on. And it seems like a lot of people, like there's good positive reaction to it all, like excitement. And that's good to see. You want to see people excited about the adoption of not just crypto, but like, for instance, Jasmine, some of these other ones, but stable coins, that's the main key issue, because that opens up so many more opportunities, not just for Jasmine, but it's the pairings. If you can't pay for something because there's no pairings, then you have to go outside. It's kind of like us with XRP, right? If I want to go buy XRP off of Bitmart, I can't do that. It's going to get flagged that I live in the United States. So do I work out a deal with a family member that works, lives outside the United States? That's what people have to do, or they do other means like VPNs, stuff like that. So you know how it goes.
Yeah, thanks for that, Max. And let's, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, just please do that. We have 42 people here. Good stuff. And we've got San Pele Gringo is here. Hey, buds, just sub to both channels. What's your take on XRP, if not covered, and potential new price in the coming months? Do we have an XRP segment coming up, Max, at some point?
Yeah, it'll be after Quant, actually.
Okay. So we'll have that backing. Okay. John Smith, Larry, Max, are you brothers or related? You don't answer if you don't. We're crypto brothers, as Tim Shea points out.
Yeah, but we're not blood. We are not blood related.
John Smith, I'm off to bed, guys. Nearly 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. and I must be lonely. I'll see you soon. Keep up the great work. I appreciate so much listening on the way to work, etc. But yep, the taxes are so much. Oh no, thanks so much. All right, he was saying something about taxes.
Well, thanks
so much,
John. Good to see you, man. Have a good night.
Selmo Fudd is here. An OG of OGs of OGs is here. John
Hey,
Smith, Tim. Yes, definitely. Okay, Tim. By mate. All right, Selmo, you down with XRP? Says Brian Dowie, because he always says that. Bach Tron. Hi, Max, Tim, and Larry.
Hey, Bach.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, Bach. You know I had to. I mean that in a good way.
MD perhaps has gotten a hold of himself, which is not good. Greetings, everybody. Just got in early. This is why it's, he got in early, so he has, he's left with himself for a night of distressing the ladies tonight. Okay.
Well, there you go. Welcome back.
Welcome back. And he's watching our show now. And Saitama. Yeah, we haven't talked about Saitama in a long time. Sock car scene. Yes. All right. And Bactron crew, or maybe you meant to say crow. ABT low cap gems. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to obviously look more into ABT. It's becoming a thing now. Like 3 nights in a row, it's been somebody mentioned ABT, and it's not a typo. You know what I mean? Remember we talked about this the other night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. I thought it was ALBT, but it's ABT.
It's not. It's not a typo.
Yeah,
it's a real thing. Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Sack car scene. Welcome. I have not seen you here before. Sack car scene. You have to remember Bitcoin was worth pennies at one time. It also went up and dumped multiple times before it finally took off. Good point.
Yep. That's the way I look at it. I mean, why would I want to possibly get another bag of Jasmine? Even if I didn't, I mean, I'd be more than satisfied with what I got. But I mean, if it ends up really being like the Bitcoin of Japan, like the label is, and that gets any significant price action, I mean, what about this, Larry? What if it actually went past all-time highs? I mean, like that'd be $400,000 for me.
Crazy,
right?
Yeah.
For Michael Cornwell, it'll be even that much more. He holds more than I do. There's other people that hold like 1 million of these things. So you had 1 million Jasmine and went up to, for instance, some of those particular prices, like let's say it did go to $5. $5 million in Jasmine.
It's crazy. Yeah. Star-Lord, thoughts? Star-Lord, thoughts on a better buy, XRP or LCX? So many good choices. There are a lot of good choices in crypto right now. I don't know how to answer that one. Do you have a preference, XRP or LCX, Max, between the two?
If I had to pick one, it's XRP all the way. But I mean, I think both are great. I don't own LCX yet, though. I'm waiting for a pullback. Like I said, guys, I finally made an entry point for ALBT and some of these. And for some of you guys who are wondering, like, well, do you own anything? Yeah, I own quite a few things. It's just, my thing is, I didn't recently get into some of these like that we started covering until recently, like ALBT, and then also, I said that at the beginning of the show, didn't I not? Yeah, HBAR. I got really sold on HBAR. Our HBAR originally was just part of my list. It was never on my short list. And after I took some of my own more deeper dives into it, like some of these lectures from Dr. Lehman Bear, that guy is like probably, in my opinion, I am more impressed with him. And I know it sounds bold, right? Because I love Gilbert Verdian. I'm a huge fan of him, right? But as somebody said, what was this question? Pick one, XRP or LCX? How about this?
Yeah.
Max, pick one or the other. Dr. Lehman Baird of Hedera or Gilbert Verdian as far as like smart wits. I'm gonna go with Dr. Lehman Baird. That guy's a scientist for crying out loud. Like, guy, he's brilliant. I could listen to him lecture and just watch it all day. Like, seriously, that guy has a way of explaining things. It's beautiful when you see somebody like that smart, man. It really is. I'm just in awe. Yeah.
Would be a beautiful thing if the audience would hit the like button. I would definitely appreciate that. It's not just ALBT, it's also ABT. Yes, when will you guys do a video on it? Well, we'll look into it for sure. MD, what does OG stand for? It stands for original gangster. That's what it stands for in my book. Original.
It's a US, it's an American thing.
Yeah, it's an American thing. Bach-tron. I said that to my son. It stands for original gangster. He said, no, Dad, it stands for original. I'm like, no, it stands for original gangster. XRP, 100 billion market cap. LCX, 1 billion market cap. I'd go with LCX as Bach-tron. All right, there's his justification.
Here's my justification. I'm looking at it from the perspective of ISO 222. When that goes live March 20th, we should see explosions, especially with the likes of XRP. So yeah, don't get me wrong, LCX is a great opportunity there, but between March 20th of this year till sometime in 2025, we should see like crazy price levels for XRP, and obviously XLM as well, but especially XRP and Quant. I mean, we have quite a bit of information in regards to CBDCs for Quant in our Quant segment. You're not going to want to miss that. Back to you.
All right, real quick here. SOC car scene in 2014, Bitcoin dropped from $28 to $3, and it spooked a lot of people. Quant is a hold for 40 years or longer, says Mentalec MD. Not talked about Saitama for a long time. Keep it away. Keep it away. Yeah, we're not talking about Saitama. Depends on who you talk to.
See, Larry, that's why we should have music. Remember you talking about? It'd be cool if we had music. So when you say keep it away, we could do literally like Red Hot Chili Peppers. Keep it away, keep it away, keep it away, keep it away now. Yeah, but we can't because there's a copyright. Well, you think Red Hot Chili Peppers would actually give a crap if we play that? They'd probably be like, hell yeah, that's cool. But no, thanks you too. Yeah.
We're gonna have to make our own theme song. Mentalec XRP is the best buy, but LCX is good too. Let's see here. Well, I don't see anybody new, and let's go back to the news here because we'll read this last one. Bach-tron ABT 186 max supply will moonshot. Matter of time. Do your own research. Oh, CRU, not Crow. CRU supply 26 million. All right, we're gonna have to look into those two. And when Max says he's gonna look into it, he really means it. So it's good stuff. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Bach. Yeah, 26 million is not bad. What the heck was that?
Something just crashed?
Oh no, some kids outside just having fun. That's okay.
Oh, you could be like Blue Well Ricky and tell him to get off your lawn.
Nah, I'm not gonna get mad at little sweet kids trying to have fun, being kids.
All right. So what's the next news segment you have for us, Max?
All right, so we're gonna jump right into some Quant. Shout out to the one, the only. I love it when.
I love it when they call me Quant Papa.
That's right. So yes, Quant Papa. We're gonna jump right into that. So, let me just pull that up. Man, I got a bad stomach all of a sudden. Anyway, let's see here. All right, so here it is. Are you able to see this? I think you are.
Yep. Yeah, I can see it now. Yep.
Yeah, it says why Quant can't shill their partners. It's more like shill. I don't know about, maybe it's a typo. I'm thinking more is towards shill. So here's the thing, right? So some people say, Max, there's no way that Quant's going to get to these particular price levels. There's just no way. We should know a little bit more about some of these partnerships, and Gilbert Verdian should talk more about the engine that they have, and show that off a little bit more. Well, guess what? If you're tuned in, Gilbert Verdian, CEO Quant, sheds light on just that. Here we go.
So, Gil, why aren't you even more known globally, not just in the crypto sector, but in the mainstream sector? Because a lot of your business is not in the crypto scene.
Yeah, we operate mainly in the enterprise space and in government, and so a lot of the clients we work with don't publicly go out and talk about what they're doing because they don't want their competitors to know. And so that's just the nature of technology. You're not going to go and say you've got the latest and greatest, fastest engine in your car for the competitor to go and buy the same engine, and then they can compete against you. So we've been working we have, to state 70 deals in our pipeline with different clients, huge multinationals globally, not just in Europe.
Wow, let's stop you there. 70, did you say?
Yeah, 70.
And they're in the pipeline that are unsigned as yet, aside from all the ones you already have.
Yeah, so exactly. So they're customers. We're meeting, progressing, giving them the technology, doing the proofs of concept, working with what they're trying to solve. Is we're giving them a small sandbox of overledger so they can just try it out within their enterprise. They've got a limited window to use the technology. Once it works with their use case, then it becomes the enterprise version for them. So it's a really easy implementation.
Hold on a second. Let's just take a moment to pause there. I just love how his body language is. We just give him a small sandbox of overledgers so they could play around with it. I mean, can you not? Oh my God. I mean, if I was in this industry at the, like a big enterprise or something like that, I'd be like, really? I just get to play around with your operating system and do as I please? Anyway, let's get more back into this.
Into an organizer.
I really appreciate your frankness on this as well, Gil. Dropping the number of 70, it's a big deal. It's a big number, considering that you don't talk with the small players, not at this stage. So give us some hints though, Gil. I know you can't because of NDAs and everything, but give us some hints of the kind of scope, of these 70.
Yeah. Well, okay. We working with a company in healthcare space. And so they're looking at digital clinical trials.
We talked about healthcare before, and you're big on that. You have a lot of experience. That's a huge sector. Pharmaceuticals are massive. What about other verticals?
We're very focused on financial services and healthcare. And then our other bucket is communications, so telcos.
That's
we're in quite a few discussions. And it's really the link between blockchain, IoT, 5G, and enabling a connected world to operate and interoperate. And that's quite hard to do with legacy technology, but blockchain is a good way to do it.
Yeah, it is a good way to do it. And yes, technically speaking, Peanut Butter Fudge is right. Some of these interviews are, from a few years ago. But the point is understanding what they've got going on in the past, some of the, various different companies, those partnerships they made, and how they progressed from that to where we're at now. These are why people are so absolutely bullish on the likes of Quant, where you make some of these particular statements. Like, for instance, shout out to Bachtron. He says, for instance, I'll just highlight it real quick. Bitcoin utility is subpar comparing it to Quant. Yeah. How many times have we stated that we feel as though Quant is Bitcoin with utility? And in the future, when it surpasses the likes of Bitcoin, it won't even be that much of a nice comparison, right? So anyway, we have a little bit more quant coverage. That was roughly about 2.5 minutes. We did comment about a little bit. We do want to try to treat the whole thing of the 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out as much as we can. So I'll state this: we have quite a bit more quant coverage to share with you guys tonight. Back to you, Larry.
All right, thanks for that, Max. And sock car scene. Last year, I was buying meme coins and bought literally quintillions tokens for less than $1,000, but they are currently worth $350. That's actually high. $350. You're lucky it's not worth about $3.50.
Well, I need to say something just real quick, because I mean, I want to try to protect our community as much as you can. So I don't know how long you've been into crypto and so on. If you've been doing meme coins for a while, it tells me at least you've been in for a year, maybe two. I will state this: don't make one of the mistakes I did, and that is where you're hoping that some of the top influencers who shield this crap to you, who are paid to shield this crap to you, don't have the attitude, well, I'm going to wait for them to update me on a V2, because they're not going to do that. They're not. It's a damn shame that they don't. They should have the community's best interest at heart. A lot of them don't. I'm not, specifically going after any specific influencer. I don't do that, but you guys already know who some of these guys are. I will state this: try to pay attention and go just double check, do your own due diligence, because a lot of these crappy meme coins from years ago are very well going into a V2, and they have cutoff dates in which if you don't get them migrated to a V2, you are SLL. I don't want to see that happen to you. It happened to me with the likes of stupid freaking Clifford Inu on December 31st. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. I got cut off. I got cut off at 4 hours. Yeah, ticks me off, man. $1,400 down to $2. I should have put that in some of the utility ones. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that does
we talked a lot about that off camera. I lost a lot with meme coins,
Oh yeah,
a lot of it. It's so frustrating because I should have known better, but yeah.
So all I'm saying is
more utility ones. Yep.
Right. So it's like we have, again, I understand, well, that's part of you doing your own research. Okay. Well, still,
we're not talking about Shiba and Doge and Volt. We're talking
I'm talking about
crap that
I'm talking about
nowhere.
Freaking Clifford Inu, Mononoke, crap like that. Anyway, so pay attention, go to their Twitter pages and so on, see if there's any info about V2s, try to keep up on that, because if anything, I have to admit, some of these, if we hold on to them long enough and we are part of those V2s, when we get into a true bull run where everything is at, I should say everything, but where a lot of the market's at new all-time highs for quite a few different projects, you may very well see some of these ones that you got into at $1,000. Next thing you know, you turn a profit. My thing is, I will not only turn a profit, I'll get the heck out of these and cash them out. And never look back. I'll put, if anything, I swap it, reinvest it in some of the ones we're talking about here, like some of the real utility driven ones and so on. So I just wanted to point that out. You may already know that, but for all the newcomers, I just don't want to see you guys get wrecked. That's my main thing.
Oh, good stuff. And ABT $15.5 million market cap. We'll have to definitely check that. Thank you, KK. Star Lord. Yeah, I was going back and forth. Want to get both at some point. Picked up a bag of LCX today, working on XRP. Next, LCX is great, says this. Who? Salamander in Space, the XDC commander. 50 people are here. Can you not get excited about that? If we get 100 people, I'll put a hole through this wall, but it won't be out of anger. I'll just be happy. Yeah. Tim J says Flux and Flare were doing well today. I know that Max is keeping an eye on Flare. Star-Lord says
I'm also keeping an eye on Flux. I mean, it's one of those ones I also want to get. It's just I have a short list, but yeah, Tim. I mean, you know me. We covered Flux a while back, and I'm more than convinced about it. I think any of those particular ones is a threat, to a sense, to the likes of Amazon. That's a good thing. You like to see some of these decentralized cloud storage platforms. They're going to have to do something, because when more and more people, and I should state this, when we get more of an adoption in crypto, that's what makes all this stuff stand out. Why would somebody want to go pay $100+ for the same type of service when they could get it for like 90% less through a service like that Flux provides and so on? I think it's the point of not as much people know about it, but give it time, word of mouth spreads, and if anything, that's utility. And if we get more adoption, that means nice upside potential.
Sideline reporter Crypto McDizzle for Sizzle says the ABT ERC20 token functions as a payment in the Arch block ecosystem. Thank you for that. Mr. J, crypto. There is so far only one crypto that you can add all the network, and that is Chainlink. We've been looking at Chainlink in the past. That's a good one. Mentalec. Quant is the brain of crypto interoperability. That's a good way of putting it. Boctron BTC utility is subpar comparing to Quant, which, that's all the Bitcoin has is the first mover advantage. That's it. That's true. Peanut butter fudge. Please note that Quant interview is from 2019.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
We addressed that.
That's right.
That's fine. Some people didn't see it.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm sure that of the 70 in the pipeline, they've already, signed some of those. But I mean, they're working with a lot. That's the point. Quant staking will generate massive passive income. Good point. Tim Shea, MD. I feel HBAR, XLM, XRP, and even ETH will overtake Bitcoin. All right.
I feel the same way. Who said that? That was Mass.
That was
yeah,
MD. Yep.
Mass. I totally agree with you, man. Great statement.
Mentalec. In another life, I was a manager in corporate America, and business operations are more secret than a spy agency. So utility cryptos have thousands of non-disclosure acts. Yes, they do. Boctron. 50 people here, guys. It's good. Let's get to 60. Any altcoins mentioned on this channel is miles better than Bitcoin's utility. That's true.
Yeah,
Boctron.
very true. Thanks, Bach.
I've never bought any Bitcoin except accidentally. Conversion from altcoins, don't plan to ever. All right. Mentalec, $1K will turn into 50 and 100K when utility rules. I think he meant to say, all right.
I'll tell you what, real quick. I don't know if I ever told you this, what happened to my Bitcoin. So back in 2016, I put in like, I don't know, it was like $40 or $50 into Bitcoin. And then in 2021, I checked the balance and it was like over $200. And then I swapped it for a bunch of Shiba Inu at the time. And then that was my first bag of SHIB. And then I bought my second bag of SHIB, which was like over $1 billion. So, you know what I mean?
That's what happened. Yeah, no, I hadn't heard that story about the origin of your Bitcoin. That's cool. Wayne side, not the wild side, but Wayne side's here. Dudes, I'm surfing. Yeah, here comes all the crap. Shiro Inu, Piccolo Inu, Zombie Inu, and Pochi Inu. It was in every single one of those, unfortunately. But yes, thank you. And
yeah,
Mr.
all those.
Like
I said, I don't hold Zombie. I have Piccolo, Shiro. I don't have Pochi. I don't have Pochi, thank God. But
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah, I regret. I wish I would have just thrown it all into Quant. Mr. J Crypto or any of the other ones.
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh. We should go back to that. See how much Quant was during the times we got into all this garbage.
Oh
right?
man. I probably would have $100,000 just from those meme mistakes in Quant.
But it's part of the crypto journey, is it not, my friend?
Yeah. It is. Have you guys ever tried becoming your own bank using instant decentralized or DApp? No. No, Mr. J, but I like that. All right. Starlord, Quant is offering staking now. That's the question. Thought it wasn't available yet.
Well, if it's straight from if it's straight from the Quant site, I gotta look more into that. If anybody knows about it already, please let us know in the comments. It helps with the community-driven news. But if nobody does know about it, I'll look more into it. The only staking I know is like various other platforms. For instance, the one that stands out for me is Binance. I believe it's like 2.99 or 3%, something like that on your Quant. But as far as like actual native staking from the main net, I guess you could say, of Quant, gonna have to look more into that. So by all means, somebody knows, let us know in the comments.
Starlord, speaking of meme coins, anyone have exposure to FEG? I have a dust of FEG, but not Hoj or Hodge, however you said. I know what you're talking about.
I remember Hodge, man. I almost pulled the trigger on that when I was really into meme coins, and I'm glad I did not get into that.
Peanut butter fudge, politically correct. There is never going to be staking. Overledger gateways will allow you to lock your coins in a channel and earn fees from usage of the network. I still have a small bag of SHIB, and Max has a nice size bag of SHIB.
Oh man, you know what? If crypto.com to get rid of staking, I mean, I understand because all the collapses of everything and all these black swan events, but man, if they could have kept that, I mean, I God, I probably have like 1 billion, 100 million by now, Larry.
Hmm.
Yeah, I probably have something like that. But instead I have like 1 billion, 13 or 14 million. I got to double check on it.
Peanut butter fudge. Staking equals new coin issuance. Earnings are from existing circulating supply. Mr. J, I paid money to learn stuff on InstaDApp. It's so beneficial. Check it out, but use Matic cheaper gas. Mental like Quant will have staking in the future, but not when I last checked. All right, Mr. J, that's bullish. I learned to borrow and discharge my department. All right. What's your 2027 Quant price prediction, Max?
At least $100,000. I know some people are like, dude, you're crazy, but that's just the way I feel about it.
Shout out to Mr. Tig is here. TIGG. Mr. Yes. It's the first time I've ever seen you here. It has an uppercase M. Consider changing it to something else that speaks of who you are. 53 people here.
Yeah, thanks for being. I know that sounds. Some people, like for instance, I did a short and nothing wrong with this guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's very critical of a lot of things I do, but he is a fan of the show, and it's Boost and Flow. Shout out to him if you're here. He's just like, you shouldn't put out shorts like that. It's very damaging to the community. I'm also the type of person, like I mentioned, that with all the cancel culture in this country and the world, I should still have the freedom of thought, right? So with that said, that's how I really feel about it. Now, some people would say, Max, that's nuts. Not even Bitcoin. Look how long it took Bitcoin to go from, $1 to 69K. Hey, man, I get it. Literally took what? 11 years. But I'm also looking at it from the perspective of Bitcoin. It doesn't have 100 plus blockchains to be interoperable. It doesn't have support for 15 different software development kits. It doesn't have all the partnerships that they do. And it doesn't have all the banking and payment and APIs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not, for instance, Bitcoin is an outdated blockchain. And when it comes to likes of Quant, you're dealing with what? You're dealing with an operating system. So the way I look at it, and I guess it's not good to reference Kevin O'Leary, but he did state this before. He doesn't look at the likes of crypto as investing into just blockchain. He looks into like you're investing into software. Well, think about with Quant, right? It literally is software with the overledger. So I'm looking at all the partnerships. I'm looking at the whole thing with the CBDC rollouts. We already drew the particular connections to a lot of these, right? Latin American digital dollar, right? With LAC chain, they already did that before everybody else was doing it. You already see the whole thing of Gilbert and the team from Quant doing work with MIT, getting digital, for instance, the United States' CBDC going. On top of that, he does work with the Digital Pound Foundation. I mean, there's just countless things. And like I mentioned yesterday, name one single cryptocurrency out there that has more layers of utility than Quant. Combine though all those particular factors, am I really going to be that far off? I don't know. Maybe I don't get it right. It's possible. I'm not a fortune teller, right? But my attitude is, if I had to pick one or the other to leapfrog forward, to do it in a quicker amount of time, I think that's what stands out with Quant. They definitely do it a lot faster to achieve these particular market caps and these particular prices per coin a lot quicker than Bitcoin will have done it when you compare the two side by side in the end. And I know that's quite a bold thing to say, but that's just my opinion. I'm entitled to one, right? At least I hope so.
Yeah, you are. You're right about that with the cancel culture. You definitely entitled your opinion. With times like these, it's kind of hard being Mr. TIGG. Thank you so much. He loves the channel. Albert Colma. Mononoke Inu, the biggest piece of crap.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you know what?
I knew you would appreciate that.
Yes. And guess what? While Larry's going through the comments, I'm going to pull it up.
I thought you would, yeah.
We're going to show you guys some vintage crypto talk now. Long before I joined up with Larry, you're going to want to stay tuned for this. If anything, we're crypto news and entertainment. Well, this is a little bit of the entertainment side for you guys tonight. I'm gonna go dig that up. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I know exactly. I thought I was going to actually ask you to do it, but you beat me to it. Mentellect, 100,000 Quant is incoming. Wow, we're all going to be multimillionaires. Quant will be a $200,000 coin and more long term. Star Lord Max, if you were right on Quant prediction, I will buy the first round of drinks for you guys. Let's get it. Wayne side.
Thanks. Well, I gotta state this. I don't drink often, but if that's the case, White Russian, please. I'll take a White Russian, but please not too heavy on the liquor. I want to taste good still. So, but yes, that is my drink, a White Russian. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like I don't always often drink beer, but when I do, it's to celebrate Quant.
Well, what am I doing, Larry? She did it in Russian voice, you know. In the future, when you buy drinks for me and comrade Larry, I'd like to have White Russian.
A White Russian. A White Russian drink. Wayne side, locking Tectonic. Supersonic Tectonic up for 4 years at 52%. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm getting Tectonic. I don't know if I told Mike Cornwall that. I think maybe I told you this on the phone earlier.
He told us.
Yeah, I want to get where I'll have to do the figures. So it's a little over $1,000. I don't know, it might be $1,400, where the case be. But with the math, if you get, for instance, 10 billion Tectonic and it sheds at least a zero, that zero equates to about a 10x. And we've already seen that, guys. We've already seen this in the middle. Yeah, it was the middle. What was that? 2-3 weeks ago? Not even that. 2 weeks ago for Tectonic. We saw it up to about 95%. So a lot of people already saw that 10x. So my thing is, if I would have already had that, I would have just swapped it. I would have swapped it for like some of these utility tokens and so on. And I want to state this also. I haven't made up my mind, but when it comes to Shiba Inu, as you guys know, I have quite a bit of that. Shout out to Sumofodi. He has like way more than I do. But my thing is, when we get to new all-time highs with SHIB, I may very well cash out at least half. And then I'm not just taking that and putting it all in the bank, believe it or not. I'm going to go bold. I'm going to swap that sucker for even more of these utility-driven tokens. I'm going to go really bold.
Here's somebody new. Shout out to UK Flow, FLO. Who would actually hold for that golden $10,000 Quant price? What would stop you from selling when you're in the high six figures or in the seven-figure region? And also, let's say hello to Cash, spelled C-A-C-H-E, like the cash for a computer. Cash, cats, hello, peeps. What's up? Thank you for being here, Cash. All right, so Albert Colma, realistic Quant price in 2025 is $3,000 to $5,000. And Wizard Cell is waving a pink hand.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while.
He's back. You haven't seen him in a long time. The producer of the movie Seven is here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being back. Yeah, that's why we appreciate when people do the custom avatars. It helps us identify you real quick. Welcome back, Wizard Cell. It's been a while.
It's been a long time. And, well, while you're pulling that up, I'll read some comments. You let me know when you got the Mononoke Inu segment ready.
Got it.
Okay, let's go.
You want to go right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here's some vintage Larry. This is good stuff. You guys are going to like this. So, I don't know. At least I liked it. And if anything, I don't know. I kind of like the look, Larry. It looks pretty cool. But anyway, here we go. Vintage Larry. When was this? Early April, something like that, of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was when it was. Like, so probably like about a few weeks before I joined up with you. Okay. Anyway, you see this, right?
Yep.
All right. So it says 9 months ago, technically. It says,
yeah.
Look at his description, guys. Mononoke Inu gameplay demo or snapshot or something. And he types, what the hell is even that? And this is only 2.5 minutes, so we'll play the whole thing. This is good stuff.
You got it on the volume one? So you can hear the volume?
Yeah, this is shared as a tab. So.
Okay, good.
All right, so here we go.
Guys, I wanted to bring you this updated gameplay from Mononoke, this gameplay posting that they made on Twitter. And I just wanted to show you guys this thing because you can't make this stuff up. Let's jump over to the screen and take a look. But before we do that, guys, do me a favor, smash the like button if you've lost a lot of money with Mononoke Inu. So I don't get what they're trying to do here, Mononoke. They made this post today, April 15th, and I just had to blow this stuff up. I mean, what the hell is this crap right here? Like, is this supposed to be a snapshot, a teaser of the gameplay? I mean,
Wait. Arby! Daddy, chill. What the hell is even that?
exactly. What the hell is even that? This is just ridiculous. We've waited all this time for this. And, instead of waiting for the Lambo, we're all waiting to see if we can get in line for a McDonald's Big Mac. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, this was my reaction to it right here. And then I'll read you this quote from Tupic Crypto. I must be missing something. Is everyone getting hyped for a GIF? Just saying it's not really game footage that was due in December. I mean, what is this guy doing right here? Is he like, taking a dump or something? Is he like crapping on all of the investors? Because that's sure as hell what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
So comment below and let me know. Let me know what your Mononoke Inu investment is worth and what you think about this project. Guys, we got to do better in this space. We need to make sure we hold these people accountable. We need to make sure that we have good projects that we're investing in. And we need to make sure that the devs deliver on projects and not, insult people with this type of garbage. Now, before you guys say that I'm fudding my own bag, damn right I'm fudding my own bag. I mean, why wouldn't I have to get something out of this?
Yep, same here.
It certainly isn't a profit. So we're getting like pennies on the dollar from our original investment. And everybody is in the same boat with this. I mean, we were all kind of fooled. But, this is what happens when you deal with meme coins. So, guys, comment below and let me know if you've lost money with Mononoke Inu. Let me know what your investment is worth. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon on the next video.
You know what? That was kind of unpopular time to do some of that. I'm not endorsing this particular guy, but how about this? Adam Shelton, he took a lot of backlash for swapping his Saitama to Shinja at the time.
Yeah.
And then you came out with that, for instance, and I think it was like right around a time in which a lot of people were starting to understand like a lot of this is just a lot of these meme tokens are just crap and so on. But we're gonna read this particular super chat just came in through, and thank you, Salamander.
Yeah, thank you so much for the $2. Larry, Mononoke rules. Maybe in a different dimension. The Crypto Smith is here. We probably should share his channel with everybody. Let me just pull up the screen here. But yeah, that was it wasn't very popular to call out, what the crap was going on. I mean, doing it. Rodney was doing it, from My Crypto Journey. He pointed out a lot of the garbage early on,
Well, that's to be expected.
Rodney's
gonna do that. But I'm just looking at like my portfolio for that. I mean, I just like thinking to myself, like, what was I thinking what I was thinking is I was making so much money, just like a lot of guys, off a lot of these meme tokens. Just again, that period of time, we're just throwing, blindly throwing the dart at the dartboard. You can just pretty much like, hit gold on anything. But I still have this part of my particular portfolio right here. And I'm looking at right now, 99.69% down. I own, I was always thinking I was all cool. I'm like, oh yeah, man. I own basically, what was it? Like 1,800,000,000,000 Mononoke. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Max. And listen to this. For one, there's that guy burned by Saitama. Well, how about burned by Mononoke? What did you do, Max? Listen to this. I bought Mononoke on October 24, 2021 at 4 a.m. because I stayed up because I didn't want to get hit with big gas fees. And I bought it for $183.60, $900 billion bet, or $900 billion, I wish. 900 billion Mononoke Inus. And then to make matters worse, guess what I did, Larry? Basically, 7 days later on Halloween 2021, I spent another $400. So a total of about, with gas fees, about $500 into this garbage. That could have been $500 towards,
Quant.
Yeah, exactly. Quant. What the heck, man?
I know, that's what I'm thinking too. I think that's the amount I put in was 500. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was 500. It was just one-time purchase, and it was just so stupid. It was like throwing a dartboard. In fact, I never did this, but a long time ago, I bought a dartboard. I was going to do a video, and as a joke, I was going to throw like 10 meme coins and tokens up there and just throw a dart at it, and then I was going to buy that on camera, but I wound up never doing it. But guys, if you would check out the Crypto Smith, Sean here, part of our CTN family of content creators, you can call it. Yeah, it covers a lot of good stuff. MMAI, he covers XRP and some of the other ISO stuff. So good stuff there. We already got a subscriber for him right here. Cash.
Hold on real quick. Cash, thank you for subscribing to Sean. And by the way, hello, Sean. I have got to read this real quick, just in case you skip it. This deserves a highlight. Wayne side. I tried to buy my Mononoke, but my computer would not let me. LOL. Your computer was even helping you recognize, oh, this is a virus. Literally, did a virus scan. Oh my God, that's a virus. Like, get this crap off of here. Let's not have this work. So, your computer saved you from yourself. I wish my computer would have saved me from myself at that point. Wow.
You might want to buy your computer dinner or a drink or something. Thank your computer there, because
yes, thank your computer. This is how you thank your computer. If you have a custom built computer, this is how you think it. All right, you think with a brand new graphics card, especially if you're into gaming, or you give it more memory. That's the way you will thank your computer. Anyway.
Yeah, he's right about that. The Mononoke website looks like Street Fighter. It does. They probably cut and pasted some stuff from there or whatever they did. I don't know. All I know is they took a big dump on us all. Anybody that was invested in it.
And you know what? I was looking at the Mononoke. Well, I'll bring this up while you're going through the comments. I can't believe we put this much focus on Mononoke tonight. But
I hope that nobody buys it after we talk about it.
Oh,
All these guys are talking about Mononoke. Maybe we should buy
it.
No,
don't buy Mononoke.
Please.
Whatever you do, please God. What was it? What's his name? Steve Carell from The Office. Like, please, God, no, don't do it.
It would have been better to make a video taking $500 in cash, all $100 bills, throwing it in the toilet and flushing it down. It would have gotten me views at least. Peanut butter fudge. If Binance has an APY for locking Quant, they are paying you in their trading fees, not staking rewards. Tron. Quant has a 2/3 max supply of Bitcoin with massively more utility. Crypto is useless unless it has an application. And we read this one here. Boy, we need to double down on our preferred bags, says Mr. MD. Get a hold of yourself, MD, please. Don't do that. All right, Albert Colma. We read this one here, and the pink hand is waving. You got it, Max, Star-Lord.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mentalec. Quant holders will receive part of Quant's fees for helping to secure the network. Correct. Imagine what happens to XRP on Coinbase. Happens to everybody, Quant in their wallets. Okay, but that's not staking. All right. If Quant is generating me income to help secure the network, money is money. Mr. MD has gotten a hold of himself, perhaps. Thoughts on Stronghold token, SHX. Understand it uses XLM. I don't have a thought on that one. Have you heard of Stronghold?
Yeah, Stronghold is part of the QFS, the Quantum Financial System. The list of the 20. That is a micro cap that stands out, but I need to do more of my own research. Look out for a deep dive. It is on the list of deep dives. I literally have a bulletin board on my refrigerator that I write ones that I need to do, get into. But I don't want to comment a lot about right now, because why would I BS people? Because there's going to be somebody here that's going to know everything about it and just look like a fool. But I fully am aware of it. And yeah, it is on that particular list of the QFS. If anything, for some of you guys to hold it, if you could just do us a favor, kind of putting you on the spot, if you happen to hold it, just drop in the comments what you feel is like the main thing that stands out about them and why you got into it.
Here's your answer.
It's nice. Okay.
Here's your chat CTN, like chat GPT, right? GPT. Here's your answer. Mentalec says, I pushed Stronghold for 8 months now. It looks solid and connected to all the key players, including Ripple. So I guess that's the key thing, is that it's connected to the key guys like Ripple. Well, that's what he's putting in there anyway. So that's
all right. Well, cool,
that's
Mel.
good enough for
Thanks
me
for
to take a
sharing
look
that.
at it. Long time no see. Welcome back to the producer of Wizard Cell. My biggest pet peeve in crypto is how many people do not understand tokenomics and how price for a token is totally dependent on market cap and circulating supply.
I get that. That's why sometimes even when I make, say bold things about Quant, I realize I'm probably going to take some heat from some people. They're like, man, that guy just does not understand market cap, or, whatever the case be. I do understand market cap. My thing is, I'm looking at it from the perspective of when we have regulatory clarity come in and we have massive waves of institutional money come in. I think, if anything, that's when the overall crypto market cap just booms like crazy, like something we never ever seen before. That's the perspective I'm looking at.
Yes, Kramer from MSNBC says to buy Mononoke. So you know what that happens. When he says something, do the opposite. Not financial advice. Tim Shea. Michael Marbury goes on 2Bits Crypto's channel. Recently bought 10,000 of Mononoke. He says he will build a nice vacation home. I hope it wasn't $10,000. I hope it was just 10,000 of the token. I probably just 10,000 of the token. All right. So yeah, vacation home. I don't know where. Nowhere. Vacation home. I don't know. Like, think of a horrible place. Peanut butter fudge. Quant. All right, Max, if you want to get into, oh, wait a minute. Here's something else. MD, my father gave me good advice when he advised me not to shake my ding dong more than 3 times. Otherwise, you're just okay. Well, I don't know how I read that one. Max sent you a DM about tectonic, supersonic tectonic. Please check into it when you get a chance. Not for the show, just for you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
$10,000. He bought $10,000 worth of Mononoke Inu. Oh man, this guy must have money to burn.
Well, I don't know about that. I think he's talking about maybe tectonic, but yeah, thanks, Tim, because I'm, tectonic is on my short list, so I appreciate any info. Thank you very much.
Let's see here. And then, all right, so let's go back to the news, and I'll be right back, Max. I'm going to step out just for a minute.
No worries.
No
worries. Yeah, I'm not going to do the whole thing like, back to you, Larry, and this is empty seat, so no worries. I'll double check the screen. All right, so I want to just read a couple more comments before he comes back. It could be the bull, hold on, and bulls to come with a flood of mass adoption. Like your avatar, by the way. And on top of that, Peanut Butter Fudge says Quant's tokenomics will allow it to reach crazy high US dollar valuations. Jasmine has a 4.5 billion-ish supply right now, which is less than 10% of the total supply. Okay. We'll just go ahead and highlight that particular one. Let's get back into the news. I do apologize. We didn't get to do the whole 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out. We were having a little fun with the whole Mononoke thing. But anyway, let's get right into it. So we recently covered some things in regards for Quant. We have a little bit more Quant news for you guys. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Shout out to Greg Lunt. Sometimes when I see some of these particular snippets, it's not necessarily news, like breaking news or anything. But again, here at Crypto Talk Now, we do like to give you guys particular statistics and so on from an educational point of view. So, Greg Lunt stated there are 980,000 Bitcoin wallets. Listen to this, holding one or more Bitcoin. Yeah, no doubt. But listen to this, just 88,000 Quant wallets holding one or more Quant. They're going to tell you you are lucky. Yeah. The truth is you just did the homework before anybody else. And that's one of the key things. And sometimes here, I'm a fan of this guy, Richard Common Sense Crypto. I'm so glad you finally followed me back after 9 or 10 months, but that's beside the point. He has stated multiple times on his particular recorded videos that we're going to eventually be priced out of Quant. And, you heard me say it too. It's true. Think about it. We will be priced out of Quant eventually. So all these people stating that, we're hoping that this is going to crash to $40 or $50. I don't see that realistically happening right now, because right now Quant is roughly at what, $152, $153 and so on. I mean, you would have to take quite a massive event, possibly Black Swan, I don't know, for it to crash that low at this point. But anyway, I want to point some of that out. On top of that, there's this from a new guy, right? So shout out to Crypto Reviewing. who is a educational crypto content creator. 682 followers. Shout out to him. He did a very good job with this, so I want to give him a follow, give him a shout out. He states Quant rating 9.3 out of 10. He kind of does kind of like if you ever use this particular platform, they've been around since the late 90s, IGN. So this is kind of like the IGN way of reviewing crypto. I thought it was kind of interesting. Thought I'd share it with you guys. So we were talking about in the comments earlier about some of these particular price potentials for the likes of Quant and so on. Here's his particular one. This is not me stating it. This is just the way he looks at it. And this is not too bad. So 2025 price potential, 14,900. That basically be 100x from now. An overview of project, utility, roadmap, team community, tokenomics, right? Cool stuff. Partnerships and exchanges. Let's blow this up. And this came out actually, I believe today. What was today? The 28th? So yeah, it came out today. So this is pretty new. So here's the review. It says, Quant, is it a good investment? Well, yeah, look at this. So the overview. Quant Network will utilize their over-ledger technology to interoperably connect blockchains and centralized legacy systems together. Yeah, 100 plus blockchains, fully interoperable, right? SDKs. What does SDK stand for? Software Development Kits. 15 of them last I checked. On top of that, coin info. It says 149 roughly. It fluctuates. So it's like 152, 153. Market cap 2.16 billion and growing. Supply. We did talk about, for instance, in the recorded, addressing some FUD. Shout out to Greg Lunt, who did a really good job with his research. If you want to nerd it out and watch a particular deep dive, check it out. But it says here 14.54 million. In reality, I think it's 14.86, something like that. Or the case be, it's in that particular range. Max supply 14.61. Verdict: Quant seems to be looking to become the Microsoft of the blockchain industry. How many times have I said that? The Microsoft of crypto. See, I'm not the only one stating it, right?
Yeah.
Acting as an operating system and platforms and all interoperability with their platform already being implemented in the real world. Of course, we mentioned the price potential. At least this guy, looks at it as being at least 14,900, which is 100x. I have actually possibly higher than that. Some of the other things I want to mention is here's this particular outline on review. This is cool stuff. I love this particular way of reviewing things because again, it kind of reminds me of the gamer style way of doing it. But project, he gives it a 10 out of 10 for overledger technology. Means they can facilitate blockchains in business environments. On top of that, the utility is a 10 out of 10. Quant is used for payments, decentralized apps, licenses, transactions, treasuries, and much more. Roadmap gets a 10 out of 10. Quant Network has completed their roadmap and has a real world working solution. Team, 8 out of 10. BP, HSBC, MasterCard, Pfizer, and much more industry experience. Yeah, way much more. So much that it would take up this whole entire slide, if you will, if they put all of those partnerships on there. Social engagement, 119,000 Twitter followers, 250 to 500 likes per tweet on average. You see tons of people from the community. There's myself. Obviously, Larry puts it out. Some of you guys, Greg Lunt, Quant Papa, Quant Toronto, Tokenizer. I mean, a lot of different content creators, right? Many partnerships, like we mentioned, and it is on a decent amount of exchanges. I reported, for instance, I think it was in October, how there was the Binance US listing for Quant. But yeah, they're on Binance, regular Binance, or Coinbase, crypto.com, et cetera, et cetera. All right, a little bit more in regards to our particular coverage. I think it is a little bit more in regards to Quant. It is. I want to show you guys this real quick. Shout out to this particular new person who's at Quant Army. Listen to this. He states, we are laying the infrastructure for CBDCs. How many times have we literally informed the community that there is a CBDC connection, and it's not a joke, right? It's not just, hey, this is Max trying to come up with some cool video to get more views. Literally gave an outline for months now about the CBDC connection with Quant. So you're seeing it from the horse's mouth, the head honcho, Mr. Gilbert Verdian, CEO of Quant. We are laying the infrastructure for CBDCs and making CBDCs interoperable for wholesale and retail CBDCs, domestic and cross-border payments. The quote from the man himself. All right, a little bit more. actually, that's it for now. So this next segment will be in the likes of Stellar Lumens. I'll blow it up for you guys. It's some good stuff. And let me double check to see if Larry is back.
I'm back.
And he is. Back to you, Larry.
Thank you for that. And let's say hello to Joyce is here. Hi, Tim. Love Tectonic. And who else? I think that's everybody here. But let's go back to the comments and see if we can get some more in here. Did you read this one about Quant's tokenomics from Peanut Butter Fudge? I think you did.
No, let's go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. So one more. Let's go back. Cats. Those could be the bull of all bull runs to come with a flood of mass adoption. It could be something this next bull run. Peanut butter.
Hold on. There's something not right here, Larry.
What's
There's
that?
just something. Nope, can't do it.
Oh,
We need to flip the screens, man.
you want to do the peanut butter fudge time?
No, we need to
No?
flip the screens. I'm never supposed to be on the
Oh,
left.
flip the screens. Okay, yeah. There you go.
I'm not into superstition, but I guess it's just kind of weird. There we go. I feel a lot better. Anyway.
All right. Quant's tokenomics will allow it to reach crazy high US dollar valuations. Jasmine has a 4.5 billion-ish supply right now, which is less than 10% of the total supply. To reach $1, it needs a $4.5 billion market cap.
It's
Okay.
doable, though.
All right, let's see. Cats. This could be the biggest bull run of bull runs with mass institutional adoption.
That's a great statement. Yes.
All right, let's see here. Bear with me 1 second. Mr. MD, I'm sure you guys can relate. Yes, we can relate. That Quant one-page review is fantastic to show noobs.
It is. I like that. I like also seeing newer people I haven't seen before come up with creative things like that. It was pretty impressive. I was glad to give that guy a shout out.
Now we have 49 likes, guys. We just need one more to get 50. We're halfway there to our goal of 100, which is every show's goal for now. Mike, somebody new, Mike Luong, Luong is here. Quant will combine all the metaverses into one giant metaverse.
This is a guy that was here before. I recognize it because your name used to be, the other middle name part. But welcome back, Mike Luong. Yeah, I would agree with that.
It looks like he has an avatar of a Lego spaceship or something like that.
He's the guy I used to refer to as Machach.
Oh, okay. +1 Mike. Cats. All right. So we've reached the end of the comments. We've got 43 beautiful people here. 50 likes we have right now. Here's one more point from Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Peanut Butter Fudge says, my point about Jasmine market cap is if the Bitcoin of Japan, in quotes, it's never going to be worth $10,000 a coin or anything close unless its market cap is like 1 quadrillion.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I'm not looking at it from being let's not get twisted. I'm not looking at it from like this, the Bitcoin Japan. Oh, the Max is stating that this is going to be 69,000 a coin like it was with Bitcoin November of 2021. No, I would agree with that statement. I just look at it from the perspective, as long as it hits some particular goals. Heck, even if it hits I believe it was $4.99, but let's say the highs were $4. 1/4 of that, $1. That's not too shabby. That's not gonna make me a millionaire, but last I checked, I don't think anybody's gonna complain about making an extra 100K or whatever the case be.
Mr. MD, when the sheeple get in on mass adoption, we have been the pioneers and we will reap the financial benefits.
Yep.
Salamander in Space, the XDC commander. Japan is desperately trying to help their economy since they are in a big time recession. Selma Fudd, peace to you. And Richard is here. Congratulations. You have just made it to the show where you're going to get recognized for the first time. Richard is here. I was about to get 2 out of 9 of them, working on a few others. Thank you for being here, Richard.
Yeah, welcome, Richard. Never seen you before. I'd like to welcome you.
Crypto McDizzle Faux Sizzle. I had this conversation with someone on Max, Jasmine's deep dive video. I broke it down this with some math like that. All right.
Oh yeah, you know what? We'll take a moment here. Yeah, we'll get into that right now. Actually, let's recognize this real quick. 'Cause this got brought up. I actually brought to the attention of Mike Cornwell the other day. It's something kind of interesting, especially for you guys that are into Jasmine. So somebody commented on the live show. This is nothing bad or anything. You know, which is kind of interesting to say the least. You know, when people comment, I guess you could say, on the recorded live show, like the replay. So it was from the other day. I think it was, maybe it was on the floating head crypto. Hold on a second. I was thinking that would be a bigger hit, but you know, our numbers kind of went down on that one. But anyway, not saying I won't do it again. Maybe I just need to make a better thumbnail. Hold on a second. I think it was the do your own research with Max. Here it is. So the guy's name is Anonymous Unknown. I want to point some of this out to you guys.
Well, that narrows it down. Anonymous unknown. We don't know who the hell he is.
Yeah, no. But
funny, though.
what he has to say, even Mike Cornwell was like, yeah, this guy seems pretty smart. So listen to this, guys. All right, this is kind of cool. And shout out to Mike Cornwell, always doing a great job with the math, right? Dating all the way back to Luna Classic. So it states there will be a max supply. Maybe I could blow this up a little bit more. Well, does it look big enough? Yeah, I think it does. It says there will be a max supply of 50 billion Jasmine coins, no inflation. This is not Mike. This is this guy. It says no inflation. Of that 50 billion supply, participating businesses are projected to lock up 35 billion or 70% of that. 2.4 billion or 4.8% will be locked up for team incentives, with 74.8% projected to be out of the circulating supply. Only 12.6 billion will be available for retail investors. Now just take a moment to take that in. It says customer businesses will also pay for access to user data with Jasmine Coin. The cost of access, however, will be based on the yen. As we know, that's Japan's currency, right? So it says, or legal tender. What this means is that the fluctuating price of Jasmine Coin will have no bearing on the price for customers' businesses. The case becomes more bullish with the introduction of Double D Coin, an ecosystem-only stable coin based on the JPY. And now this brings a third element to the table, because as we know, there's that what we talked about in the beginning of the show. There's the ban on foreign, like US-backed stable coins and so on, right? USDT, Tether, Circle's USDC. Now you're seeing this particular thing about the one that's ecosystem only stable coin based on the JPY. States which will be used to compensate users for their data. Double D coin will be able to be exchanged for JPY or Jasmine coin. And will not only provide a stable marker for the value of data, but users will be able to be incentivized to hold their Double D coin, for instance, in the case of the fan token in particular, to level up their dynamic NFT. Now, in recent news, when it comes to Jasmine, I've been seeing a lot about this. So look out for an update where I'm going to address just this whole thing with the fan token and so on. I consistently seen this on crypto Twitter. I was throwing that out. I know this is kind of a little bit more bonus content, but states this idea further removes Jasmine coin from the circulating supply. The price per coin in 2026 is projected to be near $17.87 based on the KPIs and circulating supply of 50 billion tokens. If you take the math,
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, Max.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Could you show your screen? That Michael's saying that we can't see your screen.
Oh, I thought you said the whole time you could see. You said, should I blow this up more? You didn't say anything.
Okay, yeah. If you could show it, that'd be great.
Larry. I even said something, man. All right. Remember, you didn't hear me say something. Should I blow this up more?
No, I didn't catch it. I was looking at the other screen. I was paying attention to the likes and thanking people for the likes that we got.
All right, no worries,
Yeah.
no worries. All right,
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys heard some of that. My
I was
bad.
looking at the other screen. Yeah.
Dang it.
I wasn't sure. I thought you were just reading the one comment. I didn't
That's
know you were
all.
going
It's
into
all
the
right. That's what I was saying.
article.
You guys want me to blow this up more?
Oh, I know.
All right. All right, it's okay. You don't have to apologize for being human. Okay. All right. So it says, do you see it now? You should see it now. All right. So it says, for instance, the price per coin is, I'll repeat this. in 2026 is projected to be near $17.87 based on the KPIs and circulating supply of the 50 billion tokens. If you take the math one step further and reduce the circulating supply to be between 12.6 billion and 15 billion, that would make the price of Jasmine equal to roughly $60, $70. Now, this is really, really bold, right? And the guy's name is not apparently the anonymous unknown. He puts the crypto dead, all right? So I saw this and I said to myself, wow, this has to do with math. This has to do with Jasmine. I got to message Mike Cornwell. Mike Cornwell got involved and he messaged him back. He says, not contesting, just clarification. If anything, I think I can blow this up a little more. Hold on. I think that's the most I could probably do without it going too crazy.
Yeah, it's off the screen now. We can't see it. Oh, there it goes.
No, I'll just do
That's off the
110.
screen.
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm just trying to blow it up a little more. So, Mike Cornwell says, not contesting, just clarification. The market cap would have to be over 800 billion to get a price of 17.87 with 46.4 billion circulating supply. Then Mike goes on to state that would take passing Bitcoin and Ethereum's price combined, 638 billion combined as of this comment. You can break this down for me and get some clarification how this is possible. The Mike states again, this is like what, yesterday, I believe. He says, and if the circulating supply was 15 billion and the coin was priced at $70, Jasmine would have a market cap of 1.05 trillion. All right. Not to say that it will never get there, but I mean, people do look at it from the perspective of like, damn, man. I mean, that would make this literally, you know, like Bitcoin, right? So then this guy does respond. He states, read again, man, big companies will have locked 35 billion of the coins to use for their Jasmine secure PC, and only 12.6 billion will be left for us, as in, I guess, retail money, meaning the circulating supply would be only 12.6 billion and the value would skyrocket. On top of that, this guy states also all-time high peak of Bitcoin would be trillions of dollar market cap, since Bitcoin would be minimum of 100,000 to 500,000 in the bull run. I mean, I know some people say that and so on. Me personally, I do see that, you know, Bitcoin will go to over 100,000. To me, that part makes sense. I don't know about 500,000, but you know, there's a lot of crazy stuff that could still happen, right? That's why a lot of people feel like there's still a lot of opportunity in this. So Mike Cornwell responds, he says, I understand. I math with 15 billion, but even with $12.5 billion supply and a price of $70, the market cap would have to be 175 billion on Jasmine alone to reach that price. And if you wonder where Mike is getting all this, he took some screenshots. He sent to me on my phone, and he has like this market cap calculator and so on. So he's not like pulling this out of thin air, right? So, you know, Mike has another response. We didn't hear back from this guy. Hopefully he responds at some point. He says $70 Jasmine basically equals $12.5 billion circulating supply. On top of that, that's basically $875 billion market cap. Now, if I had a case of Jasmine surpassing an $875 billion market cap, then that adds up. Under your calculations, can you break down a $70 Jasmine with a $12.5 billion supply? No response yet. I love $70 Jasmine. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, God, it'd be more than a millionaire. It'd be crazy. So it says, as I'm a holder, are you projecting close to $1 trillion Jasmine market cap? Well, I will state this. I don't know if you did see this, Mike, but I think he is stating that because he did mention this right here. I don't know if you saw this. Oh, that's where you stayed at 1.05 trillion. Anyway, guys, we thought we would share this with you. It is interesting to see these particular perspectives on Jasmine. But yeah, it'd be nice if this guy did respond. Maybe he will respond in the next few days. You never know. So thought I'd share that with you guys. Sorry this wasn't shared earlier on the screen. Back to you, Larry.
All right. Thank you for that, Max. I'm just looking at the comments here. There's not really too many comments coming in. Let's see here.
That's right. I mean, we still have some more news and stuff. So
yeah, I just want to see if I can bring in maybe one. Yeah, Mr. MD's been on this path for about 5 years now. And Richard says, I was thinking of getting 50% Bitcoin and Ethereum, then 50% lower cap Mr. MD, his main focus is the ISO 222 compliant tokens and AI projects.
Some great choices right there.
I think we can jump. Oh, wait a minute. We can jump into the next segment after we read this comment from KK. Jesse from Kier Finance has excellent info on Jasmine. All right. Well, thank you.
All right, I have to add it to the list. Somebody else recommended somebody else who also covers Jasmine for quite a bit. There's this comment, eyes on the diamonds. All right.
And welcome to me. Me is here. Thank you so much. He's got a smiling face with his comment. It's interesting the way he did that. All right. So back to you, Max, for the next news segment. What do you have?
All right. So if anything, it's XLM. So let's get right into that. Gonna go ahead and show you guys that right here. Gonna share it in the way you can see it a little bit better. So here it is. Actually, after this, it's in regards to stellar lumens and also XRP. So I actually tried to take a snippet of this and blew it up, but it ends up being blurry when I did it for some reason. All right, look at this. If you haven't heard of this particular company, it's called Trident X/Flatstone. It's in regards to ATS payment rails, right? So they wrote this a while back, but it's significant. So it states that Trident X and ATS payment rails include Stellar/Swift/Ripple. They are a global payment solution for digital transformation. Now, it states back on September 6th of 2022, only a few months ago, one of the main topics that was discussed during that time was distributed ledger technology, as we know, DLT. And there was a particular pilot at the time, right? So you got to keep in mind this was just introduced a few months ago. But one of the ones that you definitely see here, for instance, was even dating back to a previous discussion a few months before that was, for instance, Ripple in regards to markets in crypto assets, actually abbreviated as MICA. Now, one of the key things I want to show you guys is this right here. They specifically talked about in this discussion, listen to this, the adoption of digital currencies. That's one of the main key takeaways I want you guys to have from this. So Flatstone believed basically that digital currency adoption will happen as a result from the demographic shift and the massive expansion of just that, the central bank balance sheets. You guys have heard some of the other guys talk about this. For instance, Coach JV of 3Tier Warriors Academy, Crypto Lulu has talked about this. Versan Alarja from Black Swan Capitalist has talked about this, about M2 money supply, right? So it says clearly the cost of minting, printing physical currency M1 exceeds the utility when demand for currency exceeds the supply required for post-pandemic recovery programs. Listen to this. While we support the impending issuance of central bank digital currencies regulated by the Bank of International Settlements, we caution ECB against banning the public blockchain cryptocurrencies. Key thing here, they're against the banning of just that, public blockchain cryptocurrencies, because they recognize, why should we hinder these technologies? We should adapt or adopt, I should say, these particular technologies. So it says these can be used and be regulated by ESMA as financial contracts or instruments with full legal status and legislation. When you get more into the upcoming months in March and so on, at least in my humble opinion, when it comes to Congress trying to get regulatory clarity on this whole thing, it helps to go back and refer to the likes of Trident X/Flatstones with their particular discussions when it comes to just that. The Bank of International Settlements, understanding the impending issuance of CBDCs. But the most important thing is the adoption of what the technology is based into blockchain technology. Now, you will see on this other particular page, it says, according to the analysis and thesis of our Trident X project, the most significant challenges identified under these reviews result from changes in the regulatory framework and the shift, key thing here, shift in market perception of cryptocurrencies, in particular compliance, right? That's obviously going to be a big thing when it comes to regulatory clarity. But look at some of the verbiage, right? Interoperability. We're always talking about like Quant, all this, right? Obviously, this is the segment for Stellar and Ripple. But check this out in regards to specifically interoperability. Widespread adoptions by retail and institutions. Hence why you're mentioning both Stellar, retail side, and Ripple, right? For instance, banking sector side. So it says legacy systems and decentralized fintech public infrastructure ultimately enabling cross trading. That's one of the key takeaways I want to give you guys here, because I think if anything, this is a nice point of reference that they're going to be using for just that regulatory clarity. And once we get that, boom, things are going to be something else, to say the least, when it comes to widespread adoption, because you're going to have the institutional money coming in. I know we keep saying that, but it's true. On top of that, I want to point out a little bit more, and I know I highlighted some of this right here, but you do see, for instance, Stellar Lumens being part of that mix. The retail, Ripple, part of the financial sector. That's the main key takeaways. A little bit more in regards to this before we kick it back into the comments. I want to show you guys this. So here's an example from the World Bank, right? That specifically mentions Ripple and Stellar's bridge assets. Again, this is a little bit more of like the educational side of things here, but it's important to know this if you were wondering, you're going to throw me a curveball, for instance, and Max, you have to pick, for instance, LCX or the likes of Ripple. You can only pick one. Well, if I'm only going to have to pick one, I still have to go with this, because what I'm seeing here, the institutional money coming in, right? So look at this. Box 6, examples of alternative solutions to corresponding banking. Ripple says the model focuses on commercial cross-border interbank payments combined with cross-currency fund settlement. Ripple allows for a move away from establishing upfront correspondent banking relationships towards a more dynamic approach. This approach identifies a path for the flow of funds. Listen to this, flow of funds from a sender in a particular currency to a receiver in a particular currency through a series of participating institutions that offer services for that currency. That's one of the key takeaways. Now, take that where it says, for instance, universal CBDCs discussed, I guess you could say, a while back from this piece from the World Bank. You will see that, for instance, there's existing platforms such as Stellar, not just Ripple, that could provide a part in the infrastructure for this type of solution. You want infrastructure? Here's your infrastructure. Then on top of that, notice that says universal CBDC. You have this right here, currencies issued by the participating central banks. The third uses a cross-border universal, wrapped CBDC. Ooh, we're getting those terms again. Backed by a basket of currencies issued by the participating central banks. The universal wrapped CBDC poses significant implementation challenges, right? Because if anything, you have to understand, is it going to be backed by a certain metal, gold? What was the case going to be? But look at what it says on the very, very bottom. The third group of fintech approaches the de-risking issuance that consists of attempts to redefine the existing correspondent banking architecture, often by using cryptocurrencies as a bridge of assets. For instance, you're going to have a number of different bridge assets that are going to be proposed from Bitcoin to Ether, but specifically cryptocurrency such as, here we go, the magic moment, XRP promoted by Ripple, or look at this, Lumens promoted by Stellar. Yes, it says specifically such efforts need to be treated, however, with caution. The viability of cryptocurrencies to facilitate cross-border transfers will be dependent on the availability to convert cryptocurrencies, and that's the main thing. Understanding the technologies are tied to these particular cryptos are selected to be what? The bridge assets. That's the main key takeaway. And when we get regulatory clarity, that's why I can't just pick one. That's why I got to go with, for instance, if I do have to pick one, I got to go with Ripple's XRP. I see what is coming up here soon. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity with LCX. I'm not going to flood LCX, but I'm also looking at it from the price perspective. We're going to see insane market caps here in the future. So with that said, I think there might be one more thing, and that is this. Look at the key thing in the middle, platform connectivity and interoperability. We're always talking about that with Quant. But look at this, interoperability via ILP can connect existing networks as well. And you have, for instance, Ripple right in the middle. And on top of that, from the retail side, you have the likes of Stellar. Back to you, Larry.
All right, thanks, Max. There's not too much going on in the comments, but I do want to say hello to XXI Gaming is here. He says, "What's good, everyone in the CTN family? Thank you guys all for being here. If you guys would hit the like button, I lost track of how many likes we have because the other screen doesn't have the YouTube channel up, but we probably have 50 some odd likes. If you guys would hit the like button, appreciate it. But yeah, so they're talking about wrestling a little bit in the comments. Great advice. Thank you. I like you both. I think I got to go that route. All right. Thank you for the compliment there.
Thank you,
Max,
Richard.
do you have any other news on any other tokens or coins?
Yeah, I do. It's just a little bit in regards to some of these other ones.
What
If
do you
want,
have?
you go
What
ahead
else,
and
what else do
jump
you have
right
left
into
for us?
it. I have, for instance, a little bit more in regards to. I'm done with XRP and Stellar's done, but we have some big news in regards to XDC, and then I also have a little bit of news in regards to LCX.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I have a little bit of ALBT and just one little snippet of Hedera.
Okay. So what do you have for us next? XDC or which one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you on a time constraint? You got to get going. I understand if you do. It won't take that long. I just want to respect your time as well. So
yeah, I'll stay for the one more segment, and then I'm gonna take off and start working on some of the other editing.
okay, all right. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Unless you got more comments you want to get into.
No, that's it. There's not really any comments. They're mostly just talking amongst themselves. Oh wait, hold on. Cody Core just got here. He says, "Tell us about them." And look at this. Watermelon Sugar Crypto High just got here. Good evening, Larry, Max, and CTN family. And oh, look at this. And now comes a super chat from XXI Gaming. Thank you for the $20 donation.
Thank you, XXI. Appreciate it. Larry and I both appreciate you. That was really, really nice of you, XXI Gaming. Thank you so much, man, for retweeting our shows. Just all the love you've given us. You've been here from, I don't know, I want to say roughly. What do you think? Oh, he's OGs back in April?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, it's been a long time. He's been here a lot. He's definitely an OG of OGs of OGs. XXI Gaming.
We love you too, brother. You know, really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So what do you want to do? Read more comments or just go ahead and get right into it?
I think that's it. Yeah. As soon as we were trying to switch over, more people came in and then we got the super chat. So
jump into it.
Yeah, we can go to the one more segment and then I'll say goodbye to everybody and you can go do the other rest of the news segments. The other few ones.
Well, your beer is looking pretty good, man. No homo. So yeah, anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I trimmed it up.
Yeah, it looks good, man. All right, so yeah, let's get right into it. Here we go. It's in regards to XDC. Yeah, you know me. And here we go. Hold on. There we go. So this is new news. This was posted literally today, like, I don't know, 8 hours ago, something like that. So it says XDC, ICC strengthens UK European digital trade. Here's one of the key things I want to point out. And, you know, again, shout out to Richard Common Sense Crypto. He did a good job of outlining this. And that is, when you think about, for instance, XRP, you know, you have, for instance, the bank-to-bank transfers and so on. It really stands out. They're not so focused on the retail side of it and so on. Stellar Lumens obviously is the peer-to-peer. But how about this for size? XDC, the trade sector. Yeah, the trade sector. So look at this. ICC strengthens UK Europe digital trade. Quote, our objective is to digitalize 60 to 80% of world trade by 2026. That's really impressive. This came from LinkedIn. I'll get right to the key highlights. Let's blow that up. So this comes from Chris Southworth. He's the Secretary General of the ICC of the United Kingdom. It says ICC strengthens UK-Europe digital trade. ICC was formed in 1919, so they've been around for a while, right? To promote peace and share prosperity through trade. European nations were the founders of the system. We all benefit from today. We remain at the heart of that system today, helping break down barriers to trade, forge relationships, ensure that trade works for everyone. Now, states, as a network, our focus today is to digitalize the trade system. Interesting. And ensure we have the right frameworks to deliver a cheaper, faster, simpler, and more sustainable trade system for the future. Even without even jumping more into it, you already know where this connection is going. And this is why you will hear other content creators, not just myself, right? You'll hear other people talk about the likes of the XDC blockchain and what they have and what they offer. What they offer is a really fast blockchain that's 2000 TPS, might even be more, right? They have very good finality times and so on. Transactions are dirt cheap compared to the likes of Ethereum. You're looking at roughly 4 zeros and a number, less than the price of a Luna Classic token, basically, actually around the price of a Shiba Inu token. How about that? So when you hear somebody like this, Chris Southworth, talk about their focus to digitalize the trade system and ensure they have the right framework to deliver cheaper, all right? XDC, a lot cheaper than Ethereum. Faster, obviously 2000 TPS, and simpler and more sustainable trade system in the future. It would make sense they would go with the likes of XDC. Now listen to this. ICC's European network have spent the last 2 days discussing how they will deliver this outrageously ambitious goal to inject impetus to this fantastic initiative. ICC United Kingdom and ICC France, ICC Germany even, Netherlands, Belgium on top of that have come together to accelerate the digitalization of the European trade. We have all committed to work together more closely to remove legal barriers and harmonize our legal systems to our companies so we can trade more easily. Now, a little bit more in regards to this, if you're wondering where are we going with this? Well, they state that it's a major breakthrough. It's just the beginning of, going through this whole new infrastructure, having the right framework for it and so on. They want to thank, for instance, this guy, Robert Goish, for chairing the meetings and all that. But it states right here that they are going to, of course, get what is needed to digitalize the high value, high volume corridors to make this momentum, the momentum that they need to digitalize trade. And again, that's the key thing I want you guys to understand. When it comes to XDC, they are definitely standing out when it comes to the trade sector. So, a lot of times maybe you're wondering, why is this consistently your number 4 on your list of ISOs? For these particular reasons. I look at XDC as being dirt cheap, incredibly fast blockchain. And it doesn't just end there. They even have that, for instance, the NFT side of things and so on. More and more organizations are getting tuned into what XDC can provide. They're realizing that, the days of just everything built on Ethereum, that doesn't need to be a thing anymore. Because, if you're going to build the infrastructure, you have to have the right type of framework. It has to be more than cost effective. It has to be fast and so on. And with Ethereum, it's looked at upon as being too expensive, too outdated, to say the least. All right, a little bit more in regards to our particular coverage. I want to show you guys this, a little bit more XDC news. Did you know that there is, for instance, a fork from JP Morgan's Quorum? Yeah, Quorum blockchain, to say the least. Yes, this was featured on January 19th of this year, in fact. So let's jump right into that. It's going to talk about the specific fork. Forking the Quorum blockchain. The open source Quorum blockchain was developed by JP Morgan, and it is a permissioned / private blockchain built on the Ethereum network. But listen to this. Zenfin's XDC blockchain, as we know, is a fork from Quorum. Well, talk about XDC later, but for now, just know that they have made some significant changes to the Quorum protocol. Now, of course, originally XDC was a fork from Ethereum, but for the purposes of this, let's focus, I should say, on this particular fork from Quorum. So it states one of them is that they replaced the proof of work consensus mechanism with proof of stake. And of course, we saw that with recently with Ethereum going from proof of work to proof of stake. Now, there's a little bit more in regards to this, and I'm going to blow this up. So it states, for instance, Jamie Dimon says that Bitcoin is a hyped up fraud, if you can imagine this, and cryptocurrencies are a waste of time, but blockchain is a deployable technology. How could you even say that? Like, do you not realize that Quorum is tied into JP Morgan? Do you not realize that, R3 Corda and so on? It shocks me, or as Larry would say, it behooves me that they don't even realize what they're invested in or what they're part of as far as blockchain technology. Why would you make these types of statements? But anyway, we'll get more into it. It says that specifically this particular quote, this was posted on the 19th, states, I think all that's been a waste of time, and why you guys waste any breath on it is totally beyond me. Diamond told CNBC on Thursday. Bitcoin itself is a hyped up fraud. It's a pet rock. Seriously? I mean, it's just, you guys are invested in blockchain technology. Why would you say something like that? But anyway, you see some of these key highlights I just showed you earlier. But here's the main thing. We talked about the trade sector with the likes of XDC. And we mentioned contact gold in the past. We got to keep pounding this home. So here it is. Did you know that it's built on XDC and owned by who? Owned by you. The contact gold system is built on the XDC network. As we know, XDC is the world's first hybrid blockchain, and that's one of the main key takeaways here. It connects both public, state, and private sub-networks. This protects your data while remaining transparent and auditable. XDC's goal is to help enterprises enhance their businesses, infrastructure, reduce costs, all those things I mentioned earlier. The XDC network is designed to support a wide range of novel blockchain use cases, to say the least. And if you want to experience the magic of digital gold, that sounds pretty cool, right? The main thing to recognize is one CGO represents 1 pure gram of gold. Right. So, for instance, there's other blockchain projects, don't get me wrong, like Pax Gold and so on, but it's really impressive to see what XDC brings to the table for just that, what they got going on with Contact Gold. So listen to this, it's fully backed, it's redeemable and regulated. You can buy it right now if you want it. On top of that, they have a gold allocation lockup. And if you're wondering about that, this particular tool with Comtech Gold will allow you to have your CGO held in XDC wallets. And you will be able to enter your XDC address to look up the serial number and information for just that, your gold. You can even own a full gold bullion and have it digitally stored through this particular wallet. It's really, really impressive. So with that said, that concludes our XDC coverage. We have a little bit more coverage in regards to ALBT and LCX, but for now, back to you, Larry.
All right. Thanks for that, Max. Let's thanks again for another $20 donation from XXI Gaming. Thank you so much. It says, always bros, you guys help me out a lot. Thank you, Max and Larry. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, you got to give them a little bit more thanks than that. I mean, you did, but I mean, let's just, come on. That's a double whammy, Larry. Let's give them a little bit more love. I want to state this. XXI, you've been here for many, many months. Our show will be going on, a whole full year, April 18th, right, Larry? So, I think that 1 year mark is going to be very significant for us. And to have somebody like you, Cody Core, I saw in the comments, some of the other guys, Tim Shea, Brown, Dowie, Selma Flood, all you guys, the OGs of OGs, we can't thank you enough. So thank you for being here for the thick and thin, good times and bad for Crypto Talk Now, retweeting our show, all the support you've given us. Is really been, more than flattering, but if anything, I'm humbled by it. And I really want to state that I can't thank you enough, man. On behalf of myself, Larry, I think everybody here at CTN, we really, really thank you, man. We really, really appreciate having people of the community just trying to help us and support us and recognizing what we've been through and so on. Thanks again, man.
Yeah, thank you again. And thank you to Max, and thank you to everybody in the CTN family. I'm going to sign off for now, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. And Max, have a good rest of the show. Enjoy, and we'll see you later.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right. Take care.
All right. So with that said, let me go further down. Let me see here. We have Tim, that was an iconic wrestling moment. Well, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'll state this. My most iconic wrestling moment was when I was a kid, when I got to watch WrestleMania 3, Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. Of course, I was rooting for Hulk Hogan because at the time, Andre the Giant was the villain. But to see Hulk Hogan pick up Andre the Giant and body slam him, that was like, to this day, to me, like one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. When I was a little kid, Hulk Hogan was my hero. So anyway, I had other heroes too, like World War II heroes like Pappy Boyington and Dick Bong and Colonel Jimmy Doolittle and so on. But anyway, thanks again, and let's go further down. Let's see here. We have Cody Core says Maximus. Yes, welcome again, Cody Core. Brian, I was surprised Hulk could lift him. Got him about. So you guys were talking about that. Cool, man. That is so cool. All right. Always bros help me out a lot. Thank you, Max and Larry. Yep. Thanks again for your $40 worth of super chats. That's amazing. I watched it on TV, says Brian Dowie. Just remember the ring shake and Hogan holding his back. You guys are referring to WrestleMania 3. I could tell. Cash Cats got me a little bag of it too. Going to be DCing into the rest of this year, says the mass. And now we got a bunch of women in the ring now. All right. Frederick from the Recorded. Good to see you, Frederick. And now in the live. Good all round news, man. It takes a lot to do this research and present all of them. Yeah, it's very time consuming, but we're trying to still build things up. Our goal was 10,000 subscribers by February 1st. Maybe we get there. We still some time, but if we don't get it, it's okay. We'll come very close a few days after that. But that'll be a big milestone for us to get to that point. I'm going to go further down. And let's see. We have Mass, who states, recommended you get bullish on Cat. I think you're talking about Katana, if I'm not mistaken. It will soon explode even more. Yeah, but the whole thing is, it's just, man, over 50 different cryptos into. I am more than happy with a lot of things I'm into. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to own everything. But in reality, sometimes it can get pretty difficult to do that. Cash Cat states, gonna look at KAT. All right. Mass states he used E8 for pullbacks, not always good. So I personally think DCA is his preferred strategy. You can never catch the bottom. Yeah, very true. Cambria is on his watch list, just waiting for some funds and entry point. Crypto McDizzle for Shizzle Manizzle for show states, Larry, that's for XRP for you to buy it live on TV. What the heck? All right. Grant Rogers in the house. Recognize your avatar. Looks like a specific type of NFT. Gives us the thumbs up. Thanks for coming back, Grant. Salamander, Larry, time to buy XRP today. Yeah, I would agree. Forking. All right, let's go further down. Let's see where we're at. Matt states he also invests in XRPL projects like XRPaynet, Sologenic, Xlist, to name a few. Yeah, we covered just once Sologenic. We need to do it more often. It's time consuming, all the stuff that we cover. Larry looks uncomfortable. His back has been bothering him a lot, and he has a problem with his neck from surgery from a few years ago. Mass Debater states, strictly speaking, Solo isn't an XRPL project, but you know what I mean. You're bullish on Solo. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, Solo does seem like a good project, and it's also part of that particular cheat sheet 2.0. All right, let me go further down. Thank you again for that, XXI. Morgan Stretfield is in the house. Always recognize your avatar. Welcome back. Good to see an old familiar face. And yeah, he is awesome. So are you. All you guys are. Richard, thanks for all the advice, Guy. Well, I can't give you official financial advice, but yes, you're welcome. Let me go further down. Nice, guys. Glad I found you guys. Yeah, you too, man. And let's see here. I am a relatively new guy in this community. Yeah, but you know what? You feel like a long-time regular, man, because you've been here quite often. We really appreciate you, man. We may give you a little crap for your name once in a while, but it's okay. You got to be you at the end of the day, and never, you know, you don't have to apologize for any being you. You're just being you. All right, Salamander. My hero is Carl's Jr. Oh, jeez. You know what? That actually sounds good. I haven't had one of those in a long time. You know what? Really, I'll say this. And this is a pet peeve. I'm gonna share this real quick, and then we'll get back into the news. I went there to order a California Classic, right? Because let's face it, when it comes to Carl's Jr., if you don't go there with coupons, they charge way too much for their hamburgers, right? Yeah, they're good. So I go there and I try to get whatever special they have, the California Classic. I'm expecting the California Classic to be just that, the way it's normally supposed to be. The guy fails to tell me that they're out of iceberg lettuce. So what does he give me? That nasty green leaf romaine lettuce. Yuck. Cannot stand that. And he put it on my California Classic and just ruined it to the point of, guess what? I was like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. So you know what I did? I actually took my happy down to the grocery store and I bought a head of iceberg lettuce because I cannot stand romaine. Anyway. And by the time I did that, my hamburger was cold. Anyway. All right. Because the place was closed. Otherwise, I would have just been like, you know, try to go somewhere else. But then again, it wouldn't matter because they were closed. And even if they were open, they would have just had romaine. Anyway. Romaine lettuce talk now. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Let's get further down. Remember Saturday night's main event? Yep. It's because Hulk is the GOAT. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll never forget my first phone call I made. I think I already said this to you guys. I was literally maybe 5, 6 years old. Went to a payphone, took my quarter, put it in. I think was it a quarter? I don't know. Maybe I just hit 0. I can't remember. But the operator says, you know, something like, hi, how may I direct your call? And I was just like, you know, hi, I'd like to talk to Hulk Hogan. And she's like, well, do you have his number? And I was like all smart with the operator. I was just like, well, you're the operator, ma'am. I just want you to connect me. And she's like, kid, listen, you know how many kids want to talk to Hulk Hogan? You think you're the first one to ever ask to speak to him? And I was just like, well, are you going to connect me? He's my hero. And she was just like, well, I'm sorry, kid. Unless you have the direct phone number, I can't connect you. And I was just like, well, forget you, lady. And I just hung up. But anyway, I was only 5 years old. But yeah, 80s, WWF back in the 80s. I mean, I used to watch all that stuff. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and then was it WCW, freaking Superfly Jimmy Snuka, more WWF, you know, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Ultimate Warrior. I could go on and on and on. Anyway, Tugboat. Anyway, Tim Shea, I'm glad you mentioned this. Anyway, WrestleMania 6, Hogan versus Warrior. All right, let's go further down. Nice. Ultimate Warrior was sick too. Yeah. Let's see here. I worked for the Hogan family for about 9 years ago for about 1 year. Really? Huh. Were you secretly on one of the episodes of Hogan Knows Best or something? Who knows? I'm not really a big fan. I shouldn't say really big. I'm not a big fan of reality TV. In fact, I just darn right despise it. Oh, yeah, Max? Well, technically, Crypto Talk Now is reality television. Well, that's different. All right. Mass Debater states, Isberg or romaine lettuce still all rabbit food? Yeah, well, here's the thing. Iceberg, it just has a different texture and it tastes better, in my opinion. I do agree it's like rabbit food, but I like all the stuff on it. But I'm not a big fan of pickles on my hamburger. I always get them without it. Unless it's McDonald's. It's kind of a weird thing. I could tolerate it on my Big Mac, but any other place, I don't like it. I don't like pickles on my burger. Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Yeah, I met him when I was a kid. And there's another wrestler who used to hang out with him a lot. His name was Billy Jack Haynes. I have some pictures of myself with him. Anyway, I have a picture of me and Superfly Jimmy Snuka when he moved. That picture got all like messed up or something, like it got wet or I don't know. I had to get like restored or something. But anyway, Tap Token. Don't know what that is. All right. Not nice, Tim. His 3 sons, 2 of them are POS. Sorry. Huh. Wow. Okay. We need that a wrestling token. All right, let me get into the last bit of our particular coverage before we wrap things up. Not quite. We have LCX and ALBT. So what I was going to present to you guys real quick is this right here. And if anything, let me just pull it up. So we've seen, for instance, these style of charts, graphs, diagrams, obviously with Quant. So, excuse me. So how about this? How about one for LCX? Yeah. I'm gonna blow this up. So look at this. And it's pretty good. I'm not going to read everything off of this, but it's a really good diagram. And in fact, I'm going to retweet this just for you guys who are LCX holders. Look at this. Look at this. So it says blockchain agnostic to be implemented on multiple blockchain networks as a framework for tokenization of securities. Blockchain agnostic. What do we also know that's blockchain agnostic? Who's partnered, by the way, with LCX, Quant, obviously. You have the compliance. You have the tokenization of almost anything and everything. You have on-chain identity, on-chain asset management, real-time cap tables. On top of that, you have 3 core protocol services, right? You have the LP token, the compliance service, the identity registry. If you're wondering what that is, it's being able to have an identity in which on the LCX exchange to map all the core information relevant to the identity, whitelisted addresses, recovery addresses, etc., etc., etc. And oh, by the way, I did come out with a particular new video this morning in regards to the sales statistics of how well Leo X did, right? So that's just another thing, right? But let's talk about what LCX provides as far as diamonds, right? The tokenization of diamonds. So look at this on the bottom. If you didn't know about this, diamonds NFTs are non-fungible tokens representing ownership rights of real-world diamonds. All NFTs are at a one-to-one asset backed by certified diamonds. Yeah, like actual real diamonds, not fugazis, right? Or fugazi, depending on where you're from. On top of that, it mentions that they're certified by Gemological Institute of America, which is GIA, and LCX certificates. Physical diamonds are insured and stored in secure vaults in Liechtenstein. On top of that, you have these terminals from the exchanges. You have a DeFi terminal. And then even for Salamander, the XTC Commander, there is the thing called referred to as Fire Salamander. Yeah, no pun intended. States Ethereum and Polkadot Parachain, integration of Uniswap version 3 and 6 other DEXs, powerful DEX aggregator, DeFi Terminal 2.0, among other things, of being officially recognized by the World Economic Forum and some other things, right? How cool is that? Went ahead and retweeted it. You can see how they take notes from Quant. I mean, come on. Literally, it makes me wonder, the guy who put this together must have been the same guy who put the one together for Quant, because they look very, very similar, right? Right. All right. A little bit more for our particular coverage. Let's go ahead and jump into a little bit more LCX news for you. I want to share this, and that is basically this right here. Hold on a second. Interesting statistic. Listen to this. This, of course, happened just a few days ago. It's all higher now, but we have to recognize milestones, right? LCX just broke $100 million market cap as of the 25th. So 3 days ago. And this is just a start, baby. So look at this. It was 101 million. And if anything, that was, 3 days ago. Look at the volume that we had. It was up 351%. On top of that, the trading activity, 88% bought, only 12% sold. Not as impressive as some of those quant numbers that we saw where it was like 99% bought and hardly anybody sold. Still very, very impressive, right? Circulating supply is 772 million. We did see, for instance, CEO Monty Metzger squash the FUD about the whole thing of the max supply, and the total supply doesn't add up and they're trying to hide something. Yeah, glad to see FUD get squashed, because when it gets squashed from the source, just like, yeah, fudders, what are you going to do now? But anyway, typical hold time, listen to this, is at least 18 days. Let's face it, there's some swing traders and so on. So that's not a bad statistic. At least you're not seeing this, whereas it's a case of people are just, flipping it real quick, back and forth, and it ranks 110th in popularity. And that's significant. Why? Because let's face it, there's over 22,000 cryptos now, last I checked, on CMC. Now, we're going to jump more into some of our other particular coverage. I'm going to kick it back in the comments just for a brief bit. What is up next is a little bit left of LCX, and then we'll kick it into ALBT. So here we go. And if anything, let me see. Let's make sure I wasn't muted. That would have been horrible. Mimi says it's XTP. Cody Coro, he would jump all the way across the ring from one post to another to hit him. I think you're referring to Ultimate Warrior, right? All right, Crypto High on Spoiled Brats. Sorry, man. Yeah, spoiled brats always suck. All right, let's go further down. Crypto McDizzle, for Shizzle and Dizzle for show. I got like 100,000 or 400,000 Doge chain. Every time Doge pumps 5%, this does 50 microcap. Wow, nice. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I want to get into something like that, then I think to myself, I need to buy more utility-based cryptos because I don't have as much as I would like to have. Didn't mean to skip you, Brian. Sugarfly or Jimmy Snuka was the first person I remember jumping off the steel cage. Nice. Yeah, I have a picture of myself and him when I was a little kid, but that's a darn shame. See, in Portland, Oregon, that's where I'm from. It rains a lot, and something happened in which, the picture got wet or something. I don't know. It sucked. I was really upset about that. But yeah, Mr. Superfly. He's a pretty tall wrestler. McDiz, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was. At least maybe that's how I remember it as a little kid. Because then again, as a kid, everybody's super tall, so I may have to double check that. McDiz, is that actually Dogecoin's blockchain? And that's a good question. I would like to know that myself. Salminer says, I heard Hulkamania coming back in the WWE. Really? Salamander's daughter, not sure. All right, hold on. Hogan was on Raw last week for the 30th anniversary. Brittany is still here. Thank you for being here, Brittany. We called it Raw, Triple X. Okay. Yeah. All right. Moving along. Do you think Mana will reach its all-time high the next bull cycle? Decentraland. I really don't know. I imagine that it would, because if anything, with enough momentum for 2021 and how it did, and it's that much more popular now. I'm gonna say it is. I'm not a fan of Mana for as far as their particular metaverse platform. I think there's a lot of other better projects, but I do need to look at it from a realistic point of view and understand that there's still quite a bit of money that goes through that. If I'm not mistaken, they're still in the top 50, maybe higher than that, if I'm not mistaken. From an opportunity point of view, yeah, I guess I'll go with that. I'll never forget the entry point I could have gotten to with that. I do see your super chat. Give me just a second. Good advice, Brian. Piece of the like button. Thank you, Larry. Crypto McDizzle, faux shizzle, my nizzle, faux show. He says, zzz, he's sleeping. Give me a 5-minute dive on a Doge chain, please, sir. Okay. Well, or you want me to pull that up? Let me see. DC Doge chain. All right, let's pull that up. Thank you for the super chat, Mike. All right, so here we are. Dogechain ranked 2,664. Actually, you know what? Let me share this in a different way. That way I can just quickly navigate through the windows. Hold on just a second, Mike. So here's this. Here's Dogechain. Let's open up another tab. So this shows that the contract is on ETH. And if anything, the volume is up 20%. You have unconfirmed market cap of 21 million. Let's see what's going on with this. So let's do all time just real quick, and then we'll do the other. So back in August of 2022, I remember you guys were talking about this a lot. We did see 0.004. It took a dive late October, but let's face it, that was probably around the time of FTX. I'm thinking that's probably, was FTX November? I can't remember. I don't know. Hold on a second. I have an itch. All right. So then took a dive, had another pump back in October 2022, back up to 0.003355. Hold on a second. And we saw, for instance, this was at 0.004. This is 0.003. And currently we're at 0.001. All right. Interesting. Does this show the amount of holders it has? Hold on a second. It does. There's 6,592. I mean, maybe that needs to be updated. I don't know. Maybe we'll just jump into what's listed for the thing. Dogechain, NFTs, games, and DeFi for Dogecoin users, built on Dogecoin holders for Dogecoin holders. Okay, that's the same thing. So twice. What is Dogechain? They are going to bring crypto applications like NFTs, games, and DeFi to the Dogecoin community. Unfortunately, Dogecoin cannot support any of these applications or any other dApps. Dogechain fixes this. Really? With Dogechain coin, or I should say Dogechain, Dogecoin holders can do more than simply hodl and wait for Dogecoin to moon. So it does try to, I guess, provide some sort of utility expanded upon the likes of whatever moves with Dogecoin. Interesting. I think that's why you're making that particular claim of like what you just stated. And that is this right here. Earlier, you said this. Every time Doge pumps 5%, this does 50 microcap. I think that's because of what we saw on that particular site. That's interesting. But thank you, man. I mean that wasn't quite 5 minutes, but I don't know if you want me to elaborate a little bit more. Maybe I can. Anyway, Max laugh. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with some, hot Inu, right? Right. All right, let's go further down. All right, so let's jump into a little bit more of our LCX coverage. And thank you again, Mr. Michael Cornwell, a.k.a. Crypto Medizzle for Shizzle My Nizzle for Show, who's literally going to be like tomorrow going down to Popeyes like a, yo, man, I need 4 chicken wing fried holding. And they're going to be like, huh? Anyway, let's get further down. Enjoy the lifestyle. Dogpad is sending. Have you heard about it? It's an ecosystem or something in Shibarium, if I'm not mistaken. I have heard of Dogpad. I have not taken a deep dive into it. I don't know if it's on Shibarium or going to be on Shibarium. I have heard rumors that Shibarium beta should be out in February. If that's the case, I'm running out of time. So maybe next paycheck, I try to, I don't know, finally get into it. I don't know. It might be the one that gets away. I hope not, but I do recognize the opportunity. All right. Thank you for being here. Enjoyable lifestyle. Good to see you back. Let's kick it into the last bit of our LCX coverage, and then we have ALBT. So let's go ahead and get right into that. So here it is. Give me just a second to present this. And let's see where we're at. I don't want to tab. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on a second. Let me. What is going on here? I'm just wanting to. There we go. I want to remove that for a moment. All right. Sorry about that. So LCX, here's some statistics, right? It's good to reflect on what has happened recently. This is some good stuff. LCX protocol, quick facts. Number of addresses increased by 2,030 days to almost 17K. That's one of the key takeaways you should get from this. That's super impressive. Like, there's not a lot of other crypto projects really doing that in that amount of time frame. Price increase, listen to this, almost a 5x to 14.5 cents. Almost 80% of the holders are in the profit. So shout out to Tim Shea, who was roughly around 3 cents. Some of the other guys, maybe Mike Cornwell, whoever else, right? I don't know if Brian Dowie you're in this. Whatever the case be, shout out and salute to you all for mentioning this for many months now, dating back to basically what? Before summertime. Sentiments remain bullish. Market cap, as we reported earlier, over 100 million now. Look at this. Blow it up a little bit more. LCX, 79.3% holders are in the profit, roughly 80%. 12.9% holders are in the loss. And if anything, that was super, super cool to see that. Shout out to YOLO Shiba. This person has no followers. Well, how about this? YOLO Shiba, if you happen to watch, hope that you end up watching Crypto Talk now. I am now your first follower. Thanks for sharing such a cool, well-written highlight. So maybe I'll just send this person a message, say, hey, we give you a shout out on Crypto Talk now. All right. Let's get into the next part. This next one is ALBT. And this is going to take just a little bit brief time. It might go a little bit over 5 minutes, but listen, guys, if you hold ALBT, this is the crypto network you're looking for, as Larry would say. The next area of self-custody, self-sovereign identity, and compliant DeFi is coming. Why is this important for the industry, and what solutions help us get there? Well, we'll get into this particular thread. Comes from Elijah Rashid, who is actually Rashid Ajaha, who is the CEO and founder of what? Alliance Block, right? So keynote presentation, of course, brought to you from the official Alliance Block. So this is not just some run-of-the-mill. Let's get into this about this next era of self-custody, self-sovereign identity, and compliant DeFi. So I'm going to blow this up for you guys. It says blockchain technology did not fail users. It was some malicious players behind it. Right. This is the key takeaway. Do not get it twisted. When it comes to people fudding the living heck out of crypto, what are they really fudding, right? It comes from mainstream media. Typically speaking, it doesn't really come so much from the likes of community-driven news, right? There's a big, huge narrative when it comes to mainstream and community-driven news. Community-driven news, like us and so on, will give you the real news, give you blockchain use cases. Talk about, for instance, not even about blockchain, talk about the likes of Quant, Overledger, and so on. Yes, it's the ALBT, but the key thing is the technologies. That's the key takeaway. We should never want to suppress the technology. If anything, if we're going to track something, track the activity of the bad players, right? But don't try to track or suppress the technology of the good players. So the industry needs solutions that promote the use of self-custodial wallets, privacy first technology, and are adaptable to incoming regulatory and compliance frameworks. You see that some of that right here. It mentions some of this, for instance, the importance of self-custody, self-sovereign identities, and compliance. Lack of self-custody, users are reliant on centralized exchanges for custody of their assets. Minimal privacy, lack of compliance. Why does this all matter? Because if anything, what matters is that, look at this, blockchain technology did not fail. The players behind them did. Users and institutions are at the mercy of actors in terms of custody over their funds, processing of their private information, and adherence to compliance and regulation. But the key thing is this: when it comes to Alliance Block and what they provide, I think you're going to start seeing more and more of this utility start happening at widespread adoption. For instance, like a passport, a digital passport that, jeez, some people just can't sneeze like a regular person, but that's okay. You're going to start seeing more and more people, or I shouldn't say people, but like, for instance, different airports of the world, other countries and so on, adopt this particular technology. And when we talk about utility being used, somebody's got hay fever. Anyway, that's all right. Utility being used, I think Alliance Blocks definitely stands out. What I want to show you also is this right here. The Meta NFT standard introduces mutable, extensible, composable NFTs that are flexible, scalable, and sustainable. Now, I want to point this out real quick, and that is basically that these particular NFTs are what? Utility-based NFTs. So again, another layer of that utility. So if you're wondering about a meta NFT, they are, for instance, a data container that can wrap existing assets and interact both on and off chain, right? Pretty cool stuff. Promoting self-custody means users have ownership, direct ownership, I should say, and control over their wallets, their assets, and their identity and rules without relying on third parties or intermediaries. But at the same time, when it comes to Alliance Block, we have seen, for instance, with Nixera, that it's not to the point where you have to give up all of your identity, where somebody malicious can just take every bit of that is not needed. You always hear this term of, not your keys, not your crypto. Well, how about this? Not your KYC, and it has to be all yours. I can control a little bit of just that, the KYC process, and Alliance Block definitely stands out with that. That's a really cool thing that they have. On top of that, look at this. Self-sovereign identities enable users, I'm going to click on this real quick, to control information they use to prove their identity. We're talking about this just briefly, a little bit more on this. ZKPs are leveraged here to prove that a given statement is true without exposing any additional information about that statement. This becomes very powerful for, just like that, the KYC process. Now, if you're wondering about that, I'll blow this up. Self-sovereign identities enable users to control the information they provide to prove their identity. Again, back to the whole KYC thing. You're not just saying, you're not having an organization saying, give me all of your info. That's ridiculous. Kind of like it's ridiculous to go to your, urgent care provider, right? You just want to, you just want to get well. You don't want to give them all your identity, and they ask for your social security number. Why do you need that? All right. If I'm giving you my insurance information, why do you also have to have my social security number? Now, of course, in the modern age, a lot of them just says it's optional, but it shouldn't even be optional, really. Like, that doesn't even need to be on there. So I like the idea that Alliance Block still empowers you for the understanding of how far do you want to go with this whole KYC. And with that said, I think this makes it transparent and also convenient. I think in the future, to be honest, guys, I'm just throwing this out there. If you want to talk about seeing the adoption of various different airports around the world and so on, using literally like a new form of a digital passport, if you will, where they implement some of these technologies into just that, like a passport or whatever the case be, they very well may use some of this particular technology because it simply makes sense. It takes a lot of the hassle out, and if anything, it's going to help with the flow of just getting people to where they need to go, to and from and so on. Isn't that the whole point? Without making it, where we have to go to the darn airport and stand in line for 2 or 3 hours just to go to point A to point B. I mean, I understand that a lot of things changed after 9/11, right? Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, if we're progressing with the likes of Web3 and so on, please understand the significance of what Alliance Block provides to that. I think this is what really also helps them stand out. Again, another layer of their utility. It's simply awesome. It's really, really impressive. There's a lot more to this particular thread. There's a lot of different use cases in this particular breakdown and so on. The last thing I'm going to mention before I kick it back into comments is this, what's referred to as ZKPs. It says it can be attached within the meta NFTs and properties, can be leveraged to comply with business rules without the need to expose underlying data. Same, thing applies to the whole thing with the KYC, but it says it can also represent financial products that are dynamic, such as bonds and derivatives. We'll touch bases on this before we wrap things up, before we kick it into the comments. So it says verification of users enables compliant access to on-chain financial instruments. You have, for instance, these compliance checks. Look at this. Here's a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. So, for instance, you have a user on the left. He or she, I should say, has a compliance checklist, right? So look at this particular compliance checklist. So it's, just going through real quick, it shows, for instance, they verify that the person definitely does live in France. They're over 21 years old. They're a European citizen. They have this thing called the PEP exclusion list, right? And it's FATF. They follow these particular travel rules, right? We're talking literally like, passports going from, persons going from France to, I don't know, let's say Switzerland, wherever the case be, right? Then you have these verifier checks, right, from the actual app itself. There's a bond issuer. There's a certain amount of duration where that happens, coupon payment, the derivative side, the issuer, just all these things with the utility is implemented. How do we know that? We'll look at the very bottom of the page. It says meta NFTs can be used to comply with business rules through zero knowledge proofs, or can represent financial products such as bonds or derivatives with attributes that can be attached, detached, or dynamically updated. It can also represent financial products that are dynamic, such as bonds and derivatives, like you just mentioned. But these are cool things to see the breakdown. I think, if anything, as this progresses more further, and we have something that goes from these early stages of this particular quote unquote app, again, the adoption of this is a solid utility. I think, if anything, this is why a lot of you guys who own ALBT, I just got into it this morning, by the way, are so excited about ALBT, because again, this is just one layer of the many layers of utility. Maybe that's why you guys keep referring to it as this, the younger cousin or little brother of Quant. Because as we know, when it comes to Quant has multiple layers of utility. And what stands out with this, again, it has quite a few layers of utility in its own right? So it's not just one particular area. It's quite a few. Let me kick it back to the comments, I believe. We do have one last piece, and that's HBAR. But let's get back into the comments for just a brief bit. We have quite the extended coverage, to say the least. We are going to wrap things up here in a little bit. Let's go with Cash Cast. It says, good night, fam. Hope to catch you next time. Yep, take it easy. Let's get some, hold on, GRT, some bone. Well, I have, you said, I think you're saying get some bone, but I know this is a joke. Or is it? I do have GRT, which is the graph. How about that? Anyway, I will get some bone, though. Have you heard about AI Pad? No, I have not heard about that one. You're stating that you need to get my beauty coma getting up in about 2 hours. Oh, no. All right, no problem, man. Take it easy. Try to get more sleep next time. But thanks for being with us. Right now, it's all good, Max. Don't sweat it. I'm not sweating nothing. Need sleep. Good night. Good show. Thanks, Joyce. And let's see here. Steve the Canadian says, oh, hey. Well, you know what? I tuned into you guys' show. The was it the Shaman? I forgot what you guys called it, the Shaman show or whatever. I saw a few guys on there. Lazy Jedi. Yourself. Who was the third? Obviously Shaman, right? But you don't sound anything like what the stereotypical, like, oh, hey, Max, pretty good show you got there, eh? How you doing, you hoser? Like, you don't sound like that at all. So anyway, all right. Oh, hey, Brad, Tim, Max. No, okay, you don't sound like that. Good to see you, Steve. All right, let's kick into the very last part of our particular coverage, and it is in regards to Hedera's HBAR. Let me go ahead and kick it into that right now. Here it is. Yes, It sounds crazy, but yeah, Hedera's HBAR, right? It's not just, what they got going on with the fast TPS and, the security and all these particular things. What really stands out also, believe it or not, is NFT daily volume on Hedera. Listen to this. It did a 10x in the last month or so. Right? That's pretty darn impressive. And it says it's still 100x to 500x away from the big boys. Get in early or buy the top. Well, I wouldn't buy the top. Let's look at the stats. So, for instance, you have some of the big players, right? Ethereum, Solana, right? As far as where they're currently at and the value, right? But you gotta recognize some of these other ones. Arbitrum plus 471%. That's pretty impressive. Tezos is something I'm going to take a deep dive into, up 140%. But Max, I thought this was Hedera. It is. Just hear me out. Look at where Hedera's HBAR is. 24-hour NFT volume. 56,000, which is plus 117%. Super impressive. At least I think so. That's not too shabby. But anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and kick into the comments just here briefly. There's one more. And it says, I don't, but I do like your impression of it. Oh, well, it's okay. All right. Thanks for being here, Steve the Canadian. And if anything, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you for being here tonight at Crypto Talk Now for this extended coverage that we had tonight, approaching the 2 hours and 45-minute mark, actually right at it as we speak. Be on the lookout tomorrow for another show, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And before I wrap things up, I'm going to give us a plug, as Larry would say. I'm going to show you guys something real quick. And here it goes. A little bit of extra bonus features if you haven't seen it already. We're trying to do some things kind of out of the blue. So here we go. Go to Crypto Talk Now. You go to the videos section. You will see some recently updated videos. I got to fix that typo where it says QN. I'll fix that. But Larry put out some videos for Quant, even XSwap, which is part of the XTC blockchain. Another Quant video, how Alliance block is going to be 100x. Basically, a lot of people have been stating that. An updated video for LCX in regards to NFT borrowing and lending. There's that particular Quant, addressing some of the FUD. It's really not that big of an issue, to be honest, but some people think it is. I don't think it is. But nonetheless, it was newsworthy. Shout out to Greg Lunt with his extended research. Check out that particular recorded video if you haven't done so already. I have a detailed report on the sale of Leo X, and of course, this video, did pretty well, 1,100 views. It's about the quantum financial system. It's a deep dive in regards to the bull run thesis, part 4, if you will. And before we wrap things up, I will show you guys this last thing. It's something kind of out of the blue, out of the box, if you will, in regards to what, believe it or not, what we've been doing with some of the shorts. You guys have seen some of this. And that is this one. I'm going to share real quick. And here we go. Hold on a second. We'll just do this one. Yep, here we go. It's about Eric Cartman, Dogecoin to the moon, tells off Mr. Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum. Here we go.
So you guys think that Dogecoin ain't gonna go to the moon? Well, Dogecoin's gonna go to the moon. And all you guys out there basically making fun of me, saying that I'm too fat, I don't know how to invest in crypto. Well, let me tell you this. Dogecoin to the moon. I'm gonna be rich. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna be so freaking rich, and I'm gonna go see Mr. Klaus Schwab. I'm gonna say, Mr. Klaus, let me tell you something. You tell me that I am going to own nothing, and I'm gonna be happy? Well, let me tell you this. Nah, Fitty, you wanna pet my kitty? I like Tizzy Poos.
All right. There you go. Had to do a little fun thing. Got a decent amount of views, I guess. So it's off to a start. But yeah, we have some other ones, obviously. In the shorts section, you got what is it? Before I wrap this up, you have this right here, which is some of these other ones. So we got Bullwinkle Moose endorses Crypto Talk now. Richard Nixon is FTX's Sam Bankman-Fried's grandfather. You have Klaus Schwab states he will own all your LCX and you will be happy. And then we have a couple ones from Cartman. I did some brief updates in regards to Tezos, Stellar Lumens, Theta Network, Solana, Polygon, the Graph, and even Chili's. And of course, we have some of our other videos. So that's going to wrap things up, guys. And if anything, I'm going to read just a couple comments. If it's anything like a question, I'll try to get into that. Let me see where we're at. Forgot where we're at. I thought I forgot to highlight it. My goodness. Tim Shea says, take care later. Brian Dowdy, later, guys. And Cody Core says, peace out. That's right. Peace out to every single one of you guys. Thank you again for joining us here. Have a blessed night, everybody. We will see you on the next one. Over and out. Been a great show. Bye-bye for now.